the theme song from BJ and the Bear, and I can be BJ.
We do the final countdown when the theme song starts.
No, fuck that. I have that song stuck in my head enough as it is.
Well, how about you're the best around?
No one's ever gonna keep
Gonna
me
take you down.
down.
Yeah.
We're live now.
Yeah, we're live.
And we've been live for about 20 seconds.
Okay. No theme song though, so it's hard to tell.
No theme song.
Oh, we're like Law and Order. We have the theme song after someone gets murdered.
Yeah, or like Sons of Anarchy, we wait a full 20 minutes before we show the title.
Right.
So many times I watched that show that I was like, oh my god, the title screen. Fuck, I forgot.
That's good.
They wait so long to do it.
Yeah, like anime.
I wasn't exaggerating. No, man, I wasn't exaggerating when I said 20 minutes. I think one time they literally waited 20 minutes before they showed the title screen.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's halfway through the show.
The episodes have varying lengths.
Well, it's like what I felt about RoboCop, right? You know what I mean? The movie ends after he's like, what do I call you, officer, or whatever? He's like, call me Murphy, right?
Yeah.
Then it says RoboCop, and I'm like, see, that's the beginning of the movie.
that was all an hour and a half long intro.
That's right. That's the beginning of the motherfucking movie.
That was an hour and a half long intro to RoboCop 2.
Right. That's what I like about that.
So I don't hear a bizarre David Lynch audio glitch happening this time, so I guess we've got an actual podcast going.
Yep, and we're live, and it's fine. Nothing weird happened. Good.
Yeah, apologies to everybody who had to go through that ear rape last time.
It was amazing.
I've actually
recommended it to friends.
I think we invented a new type of dubstep that night.
Oh, a new type? Well, Skrillex has already been there, done that.
The whole thing made me think of Revolution Number 9 by the Beatles.
I love that track.
Like, it's all noise that became music.
I used to put on the White Album when I would go to sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
I usually fall asleep with the to that song, because after that it's like a good night song with the Ringo Starr, you know.
I'm kind of a weird Beatles fan. I tend to like their music less the later in their career it is.
No, I am all about the studio Beatles. Fuck the live music they did before that.
I like a lot of I like a lot of the studio stuff, but there's quite a few tracks on the White Album I don't like.
Really?
I just don't dig them that much. It's because at that point John had gotten with Yoko and he was getting into that stupid fucking experimental shit.
Well, I don't think that had a huge impact on his music.
I disagree with that completely, because that's where Revolution Number 9 came from. He dropped some acid and probably had a talk with Yoko and was like, I'm just going to make a track that's nothing but random noises.
Well, I think it was also experimenting with, in the studio, what he could do. You know what I mean? Had sounds that he'd recorded, and then he just laid them over. In an age before they had the multi-track recorders, right? They only had so many tracks, so we'd have to record something in as like 3 tracks, and then record those 3 tracks with another 3 tracks, you know?
Well, what it really was his guilt complex and wanting to tell us about Paul being dead.
The real thing is John Lennon got white guilt, right? He got the jungle fever. He decided he's like, oh, I want to fuck an Asian.
Yellow fever. Yellow fever.
Ooh, let me get some of that alien DNA.
It's not jungle fever, it's yellow fever. Jungle fever is when you fuck a black chick.
You got that Mongol fever.
Mongol fever, there you go.
Gonna fuck a Mongoloid. Okay, anyway. Is that racist?
Yes, very.
Okay.
But we don't have that many.
I'm a
We
bear.
don't. Yeah, we don't have that many viewers anyway. It's all good.
I would
You're
say
a,
that to. I would say that to the face of a yellow bear. I would do.
you're a bear, and I am a Matrix code.
Yeah, there you go. I'm a cyborg bear.
I'm a Matrix code that's randomly generating cats behind me.
I don't even see the code anymore. I just see blonde, brunette, redhead. What were we going to talk about? The best and worst movies of the year?
Yeah.
I already recorded a video about that. I still have to edit it together. Thinking about it, I did my top 5, which is not a bad, actually pretty easy list to put together.
I cannot decide what my best movie of the year is. It is a tie between Mad Max Fury Road and Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Same here, but I put Mad Max at number 1 because it was
I think
because
I think I might put Star Wars ahead. Mad Max I went into with no expectations because I've never really watched the Mad Max series, but Star Wars I went into it with hoping for the best and expecting the worst, and I ended up getting a movie I really, really liked.
Well, that's why it's over The Force Awakens, because The Force Awakens was able to achieve what the other films did, right? But Fury Road was able to surpass, right?
Fair enough.
Even in your attention, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I don't know. I still have to watch the
Plus,
first
I
three
mean,
Mad Max
they had a
movies.
marketing campaign to make people interested in dressing up as Force Awakens characters this Halloween, right? Prepackaged costumes. But people were going out of their way to make their own Mad Max Fury Road costumes, and I saw quite a few of them this Halloween.
Oh, I bet those are fun as fuck costumes to make because they're all like, I don't know what that genre is, post-apocalypse punk, I guess. Oh wait, no, didn't we determine that's called gas punk?
It's an offshoot of steampunk, but steampunk is not only past but also futuristic. It can be like a dystopian future. Steampunk.
Yeah, but it's always based on steam. That's the central aspect of it.
It can be, but they're all getting this shit from the same fucking costume wholesaler. You know what I'm saying? They all get their goggles and boots from the same place.
I do like steampunk goggles, despite my dislike of the steampunk genre. I like the fashion.
Yeah. And
I
the
find
top
the
hats?
genre. No, just the glasses.
Well, yeah, those glasses were very on brand for steampunk.
I have some steampunk glasses that I wear regularly in public.
Yeah. That's what we're talking about. Very on brand.
The glasses I wore on the podcast before they broke, and then I switched over to this Matrix code because I don't like my face.
Right. Oh yeah.
But I did get a new pair.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, my cousin got them for me for my birthday. They're nicer than the older ones are. The frames are actually made of metal. And the side shields have holes in them so I can actually see out of them. They don't put big blinders on my peripheral vision. That was the big problem with the other ones, is that I love the way they look, but I had absolutely no peripheral vision while wearing them.
Yeah. Right, because it's cut off by material.
Yeah, which, considering where I live, is an acceptable sacrifice because it kept the wind out of my eyes.
Is it getting cold yet, or is it just wet?
Oh, dude, it's cold as fuck here.
Well, it's getting cold, but we had flooding last week. Lots of flooding.
Yeah, same here. We I live in the flatlands, the river flats of Iowa, where all the big flooding happened in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And I live like within 50 yards of the river. So these fucking strong ass straight winds blow across the river and it gets cold as shit here.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's getting cold now. I guess it's all freezing up, but it's all flooded all up and down the roads over there. It's fucking
worst
stupid.
movies of the year though.
Oh,
I can't
there's a lot of
decide that
contenders.
but I can't decide because they've all been drowned out of my head by Star Wars.
All right, let me remind you. I did a video about the future flops, movies I expected to flop. They pretty much all did.
Yeah, you were spot on with that video. The thing is, though, I haven't seen hardly any of those movies.
Right, right. I didn't see the new transporter, but nobody else did either. I didn't
I
see
didn't.
the Agent 47, which
No, I
or
didn't.
the assassin, or I mean, what is he called?
Hitman.
Hitman, right?
I didn't see that either. I also didn't see Jupiter Ascending.
Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
I saw parts of that.
Mm.
I've never seen the first one. I saw like 60% of the second one. I didn't hate what I was seeing.
Wasn't
It
there a
was,
new Night at the Museum this year?
I don't know.
I mean, after
But
Robin Williams died, they were like, "Yeah, go ahead, put it out anyway."
Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, I guess, is a harmless enough PG comedy.
How about Hot Tub Time Machine 2?
I won't watch those just because the title is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I mean, I might actually see Hot Tub Time Machine 2. I don't actually think it would be that much worse than the first movie.
Isn't that the group like This Is the End, Pineapple Express, those guys?
Who produced it? Yeah.
Because I hate them. I do. I hate them. I do, man. I hated Pineapple Express. I hated fucking This Is the End. I liked The Interview. I didn't think I was going to like The Interview, but I did. But
That's another thing. Okay, do you see that trailer for the Seth Rogen movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt about Christmas? Where they're going to go out and party on Christmas or something?
maybe.
But I didn't see anything about it, about the movie even coming out. You know? Like, it wouldn't make any sense to put it out after Christmas. But I didn't even see any reviews or anything about the movie actually getting released. I don't even know what the title of it was. It was just Seth Rogen Christmas movie.
Yeah.
You know? He goes out with like a Jewish sweater, and he's like, they get all drunk and fucked up on Christmas. I don't know.
Yeah, that is a good point. Those two are both Jewish.
Yes, they are. But,
I don't know. I don't like those guys. I really started to hate them when I saw This Is the End. That is one of my least favorite movies I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, that movie ranks up there with like Shyamalan movies in badness to me.
Dude, I saw that movie with my aunt, right, who's like 65 years old.
Oh God, please tell me she's religious.
No, but she was not amused by it at all. So I think I was laughing a lot more than I should have, just because she didn't like it either. She
Dude,
did not enjoy herself.
I want to see that movie with like a super religious Christian person and be like, hey, check out how much they get wrong about the biblical apocalypse.
Oh my God. Yeah, that would have been funny, but she really didn't like it either. The whole bit about jerking off and stuff like that, she was just like, eh. And I'm like,
that went on too long. The only thing I liked about the movie is Emma Watson, and that's just because I have a crush on Emma Watson.
oh yeah, she's going to be the beauty.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. And
Yep.
Chloe Moretz is going to be fucking Ariel.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, but I guess it's the original Little Mermaid story, so she's probably gonna die in the end.
The Hans Christian Andersen, right?
I was gonna say the name of the guy who wrote it, but I couldn't remember it. I was gonna say Hans Christensen Gruber.
Hans Gruber. Hans Gruber wrote that? That's great.
Yeah, man, Hans Gruber wrote all the fairy tales, didn't you know?
Oh, yeah. He was a triple threat, right? Well, triple threat. Yeah. He was a terrorist, master thief, and yeah.
He was
and another thing, he wrote the Little Mermaid.
He was a quadruple threat because he was also a fashion aficionado.
That's true. He was very big on fashion. He read a lot too.
This suit is Italian.
Italians do make the good suits and the good monster cars.
The first Alan Rickman movie I ever saw was Dogma.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm always going to think of him as the voice of God.
He's always going to be Hans Gruber to me. But that's just like a year later, right? He was also he was the Sheriff of Nottingham, right?
Oh my God, that is the best fucking performance he's ever done.
Well, I remember in the theater, everybody was laughing. I'll cut your heart out with a spoon.
Why a spoon, cousin? Because it's dull, you twit. It'll hurt.
Right. Yeah, they laughed at that line too. And I got that for the Star Wars: The Force Awakens. The audience genuinely laughed at stuff they said.
Yeah.
And kind of all together, yeah, you're all in on that joke,
I loved the BB-8 lighter thumbs up.
Yeah.
When Finn pleads with him to just go along with this lie he's telling.
Yeah.
BB-8's like, I got you, homie. It's all good. I got you.
Right. I liked, some people are complaining about where Finn is like, did you see that? Did you see that? Right? Where they're talking in a more modern kind of way.
That did seem out of place to me too, but I'm okay with it.
But only in comparison to the prequels. In the other Star Wars movies, they were never so stiff. Think of Luke and Han. Luke and Han they talked very casually,
Yeah.
Let me think of an example. Like when they're breaking into the prison area. He's like, what's going on there? What's going on?
Yeah. Apparently, that was improvised by Harrison Ford. That whole thing. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
Right. And they just kept rolling camera. Keep rolling camera.
It's one of the best moments in the movie, though, because it's just funny. It's funny as fuck. I always loved that part.
He does improvise very well.
It's because Harrison Ford is a weird guy.
Oh, that's the other thing I got from that dinner with Mark Hamill and J.J. Abrams. He was like, he because they were saying how, Kevin Smith asked Luke, he's like, aren't you jealous that Hayden Christensen is going to get to go dark? Didn't you want to go dark? And he was like, oh, yeah, I totally did. And he goes into it about how he wanted to go dark. But he was also talking about how he wanted to grow his hair long or do something different like that, And George was like, no, right?
That worked for Hayden Christensen. Growing his hair long certainly made it. I don't know. I always thought his face was a lot less punchable in episode 3.
Oh, sure. He grew into it, yeah.
In episode 2, I don't know. He just looks like a douchebag. In 3, he looks fine.
But he also said that him and Prowse had worked out some moves where they do some kind of flipping around with the swords, with one hand. But Lucas was like, no, you always got to do two-handed. And Harrison's position was just like, Mark, don't even tell him. Just do it. And that's how he got away with that stuff. Luke would always present it, and he's like, no, I don't like it. I don't like it.
I love how pissed off Lucas is that episode 7 came out so well.
Oh, he's really butthurt about that.
He is fuming, angry, calling Disney white slavers, saying that this is the worst thing they could have ever done. They made a movie for the fans. How dare they?
Yep. How dare they? Well, because it's not about the fans. Not for George, anyway.
It's about this family drama. It's not about spaceships. That's my favorite line because Star Wars The Force Awakens features almost no spaceship porn at all.
The Force Awakens?
Yeah, in fact, that movie is almost entirely about family drama.
But it's not about spaceships because they actually very little takes place in space. Like I predicted. I predicted that.
Yeah.
That the spaceship battles would be grounded.
Yeah.
And not placed.
They're not particularly long either.
I mean, not just getting the standard shots from inside the cockpit. There were plenty of shots not only from the outside of the ship, like on the wing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also from the point of view of the TIE fighters, which you don't really see very often. Not to say it never happened. It never happened, but we didn't see it quite like that before.
I really, really, really loved the shot of the fucking Death Star crashed into the desert. Because that was the first time you ever really got a true sense of scale for how big a Star Destroyer is compared to a human being.
Oh, but that's, what's even more exciting about that? Disney World in 7 years.
Oh, I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah, I told you that in 7 years they're going to have. And it's going to be based on what they're doing now, not on the old stuff.
That's fine by me. We've got plenty of the old stuff to enjoy.
Yep. Well, I want to see where they go next. I really do. I think they got the stuff.
I think the most recent Red Letter Media video really put into perspective how it's kind of okay that they got rid of the EU because the EU was almost too detailed.
It's retarded. I was kind of looking at those things about George Lucas being retarded, about him not knowing that Darth Talon was several generations after Darth Maul and whatever. It's kind of like, well, fuck you. Like
Darth Icky.
Right. Well, I mean, I think he might have been trying to get him in the mindset of it's stupid. It's cornball. You know what I mean? It is kind of just call him Darth. Whatever, Don't think about it that much. You know what I'm saying? Darth, don't think about it that much.
I don't think that's the case because he obviously thinks about it too much.
Well, what they did with the new movie was they just decided to call him Kylo Ren rather than Darth something.
Well, he's not a Sith.
Yeah, but he may be a Darth Kylo. It's a different name than his name.
They're not Darths because they're not Sith.
Oh.
Sith is a religion.
Oh, and in the EU, Darth Sidious is the father of Anakin Skywalker. It's kind of confirmed that they shot, midi-chlorians out to try and create something, but it ended up in a kid somehow.
This is supposed to be a video about the best and worst movies of 2015. We're almost just completely focusing on The Force Awakens because it rules so much.
Okay. Let's start. Do you have a top 5, or how many movies did you see?
Actually, I have another Star Wars thing to say.
Okay.
I recently tried the Star Wars Battle Pod arcade, and it was the coolest fucking thing ever.
Oh yeah. You posted some pictures of it. I couldn't, I could see some of what was going on there.
the inside is the whole inside is the screen, and it wraps around like it's rounded so your eye fits it. And you've got an accelerator and a joystick that fires photon torpedoes. That's it. There's air blowers inside to make it feel like you're actually moving, even though that doesn't make sense for a space battle. But whatever, doesn't matter. It's cool. You've got the Battle of Yavin, the Battle of Hoth, a speeder bike battle, the Battle of Endor, and like this alternate history where you're flying in the Darth Vader TIE fighter, and you're trying to recover the Death Star's planet cracker. So you have to kill Han Solo.
Oh wow!
But I think it's a rail shooter. I don't know. The whole time it was really hard to tell if I was in control of how I was flying or if I was on a rail. But it was intense, and it was awesome. I swear to God, there was one point in it where I pulled off a move just like she did in The Force Awakens, where she killed the engine and flipped and then slammed the engine at full acceleration just before you hit the ground and pull up.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that was cool.
So what vehicles do you fly? You're flying his exclusive TIE fighter, Darth Vader's TIE fighter.
The X-Wing, the Snowspeeder, the Millennium Falcon, a speeder bike, and the TIE Advance.
Okay, so you do get to fly the Millennium Falcon. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice. I lost every mission I played.
But what do you do with the Millennium Falcon?
You're doing what Lando did during the Battle of Endor.
Through the Death Star.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's a
hauling ass.
That's a fully because there's one ride kind of arcade machine I got in that was pretty good. Like Stun Runner, you're going down a tube.
Mm-hmm.
But there's these X's along the way. You're trying to go through the opening of the X and not hit the X, right? So it's not so much whatever. But since you're laying down, you feel like you're moving forward when it shakes you, and since you're laying down, it gives you that sensation.
I was utterly shocked to find shooter games at the arcade I went to.
With guns?
With guns.
Yeah, guns. They're happening. There's a new Rambo game, new Terminator. I think it's Terminator for the Genesis game with an MC.
I mean, they had some classics. I saw Time Crisis 2 there.
Oh, that's a good one. Is that the one where you push down on the foot pedal?
Maybe. I think so.
Dodge or to take cover or something like that.
Yeah, I had that game for PlayStation, and I had the PlayStation gun, which was I think the only game that used it. But it was so cool to have a shooter game like that at home.
Yeah. I got Lethal Enforcers with the blue Sega Justifier.
I never had the gun for the Sega.
It's just the light gun. It's just one for the Nintendo. It picks up light off the screen, so it doesn't work on flat screens now. Yeah. No. But it's cool to have.
I have no idea how Time Crisis would work on a modern screen.
If it worked like a light gun, it wouldn't, because it's not quite bright enough or something.
It wasn't a light gun. It was like a...
Did it have a sensor?
Yes. No. I don't know. It was... You had to calibrate the gun every time you started the game.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I dug it. It was awesome. The arcade was pretty cool, too. The arcade had improved quite a bit since the last time they had been there. But it's one of those, it's kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese arcade. Most of the games distribute tickets. But not all of them. They had this one game that scared the fucking shit out of me. I don't know what the hell it is. You got to fill up a balloon until it explodes, but the balloon explodes really loud. It scared the shit out of me.
Did you see the arm wrestling game? Mechanical arm wrestling game.
That sounds very breakable.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was pretty rigidly built because it's meant to withstand, people pushing on it and shit. It worked pretty well. I saw one of them at the Galactic.
Does it push back?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because what if it snaps your elbow?
Then you're fucked.
I've seen that happen in a few arm wrestling competition. Oh my god. I watched the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior today.
Oh my god.
Have you ever seen that?
No, what is that?
It is a fucking WWE DVD release from like 2005, I think. And it is the most mean-spirited, backhanded documentary they've ever made about one of their fucking talent.
Really?
Oh my god, they portray him as the worst person who ever lived.
Wait till they do a new one on Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. They're gonna try to, dude. At one point, it seems like they're trying to portray the Ultimate Warrior as a legitimate terrorist.
Mm-hmm.
Because he cut a promo on Hulk Hogan one time saying he was gonna steal his plane and crash it into the ground. They were making fun of his promos. They were making fun of his in-ring ability.
Now, what was that Dungeon of Doom? Remember that?
Yeah, no.
Before the NWO came along in WCW, Hulk Hogan jumped over there, and there was the the Dungeon of Doom, one of the greatest videos ever. It's right up there with the Shockmaster.
It's Kevin Sullivan's group, isn't it?
Yeah, and it included some of the guys you've seen before with the guy who was Earthquake is now Tidal Wave. Tidal Wave is like a shark motif going on, right?
They were like pseudo-Satanists, weren't they?
Right. There's some kind of cult going on. It's in a dungeon, and they all had like Islander or like tribal-looking things. Brutus the Barber Beefcake was done up with a mohawk and black and white stripes. He looked like a zebra.
Oh my god!
And they were all like in a cave with Smoke Machine, and the debut had Hulk Hogan. Like he's like he comes in this cave. He's like, "Where am I? What's going on?" Right? He walks around. There's a little like a little waterfall fountain. He walks over, puts his hand. This is the best part. Happens very early in the video. He walks over, puts his hand in the water, and goes, "Ah, it's not hot." It's like, what? It's not hot. Okay, that's immediately you're like, what? It just goes downhill from there. As they all come out and introduce themselves, and it's like, what? It's. I think because this was the force that was coming in, they wanted this to be the force that would take over in WCW, and then Hulk Hogan would turn bad. But they're like, this is stupid. Got to come up with something else.
There are people that have come up with conspiracy theories about Kevin Sullivan because of that group, that he's an evil Satanist that killed the Benoits.
Oh, wow.
I swear to God.
Well, it was made, he was the evil that was supposed to take over WCW until they decided, nah, New World Order it's not as stupid.
I don't understand this mentality of conspiracy theories about secret Satanists. Every Satanist I've ever met has been very open about what they are.
Yeah.
Mostly because it's a self-worshipping religion.
Yep.
So they're very proud of themselves for being self-worshipping cunts.
Yep. They love it, but they don't love it enough. That's what I say. They gotta love it more. They gotta have holidays. Well, the Satanic holidays, you know.
Yeah.
Like Lucifermas.
Lucifermas.
Yeah,
That would
just
take
like Christmas, but Lucifer.
That would have to take place in the summer because it's hot.
Right, anti-Christmas.
And there you go.
Anti-Christmas.
Anti-Christmas can be it can be August 25th.
And Thanksgiving will have Ungratefulness Day.
We can have that in July.
Saint Valentine's Day will also have. We'll just have a dislike day. We send letters to people you dislike. Right.
Tell them how much you want them to die.
Right.
Dear cuntbag, get a tumor. Sincerely, your worst enemy.
If they can celebrate saints who've done wonderful things with their lives, then we should celebrate people who did horrible things with their lives.
Like Hitler Day.
Hitler Day, Jeffrey Dahmer Day.
Wow. Jeffrey Dahmer Day.
Jeffrey Dahmer Day. Like, what are we doing on Jeffrey Dahmer Day? Well,
we all go to Milwaukee. We all go to Milwaukee and eat head cheese.
We go to gay clubs and look up and try to hook up with guys and take home and murder.
Asian guys. They have to be Asian.
John Wayne Gacy Day.
That day, everybody dresses like a clown. It'll
Mary
be
Gacy Day. Mary Gacy Day. You know.
I should try to paint a John Wayne Gacy painting.
Well, imagine I see people with like a black cross on their foreheads every so often because of some Catholic holiday. What if I walked around with triangles on my eyes? He was like, "What? It's Gacy Day."
No, that would be Illuminati Day.
Well, that was his clown had triangles over his eyes.
I know.
Creepy.
You know what the most underrated holiday is?
What's that?
National Talk Like a Pirate Day.
I didn't even hear that day.
Really?
Yep. Didn't even know that day existed.
We have a National Talk Like a Pirate Day in this country.
Well, that's a nice day to have.
Yar, pint of rum for me hearties.
I celebrate that day.
I do. I like that holiday.
Is there a Ninja Day?
No, but there should be.
See, in the Battle of Pirates versus Ninjas, I'm all about the ninjas, though.
There should be a Paul Revere Day.
There should be an Israel Bissell Day.
Israel Bissell.
Israel Bissell is the real guy that did the ride all the way from Boston to wherever.
Oh, how about a Bill Cosby Day?
But Paul Revere got the credit because his name sounded better, right? Right, his name rhymed with shit. Paul Revere. Now that's a name. Yeah. Well, I passed it to him, and he rode like a couple. He rode like 25 miles. I rode like 150. Yeah. What's your name? Israel Bissell. Israel Bissell makes you want to whistle. No. Paul Revere. Now that's a name.
I just want a day where people ride down the street on a horse yelling shit.
Yeah, I mean, if your name was Shitface McGee, right? You would have to do something really wonderful to them write a song, or anything about you. Shitface McGee saved the day. No, it sucks having a terrible name.
Yeah, it does. I know a guy named Mike Hunt.
Mike Hunt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a terrible name.
I know it is.
Oh, that's a terrible. Well, I had a list of names, right? Because of what I was doing before. I had a list of names. Eric Sean, right? It's a good name. Eric Sean, right?
I don't like names that are two first names.
Well, it would even say his name quickly. Eric Sean. Eric Sean.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit. I didn't catch that.
And the Dover family, right? The whole Dover family. I leaned over, bend over, kneeled over, right? The whole Dover family, right?
I've actually never heard Eileen over before. That's a good one.
I leaned over, her husband, you know. Yeah.
Okay, so wait a minute. I have to share this on the podcast finally. I heard a story earlier this year that is still the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. In a in a
What?
dump somewhere, this fucking dude found a bag of aborted fetuses.
What? He did not.
Improperly disposed of abortions. That's what the news story called it. And I'm like, it's a bag of babies.
It's a bag of dead babies. Dude, that's worth money. You know how much Diet Pepsi you can make with that?
No, hold on. It gets better. It gets better. Then later, I learned that there was like a hospital that was improperly disposing of foreskins.
Oh, hey.
So I was like, that means that theoretically somewhere in the world there's a dump that has a bag of babies next to a bag of fucking foreskins, and you can pillow fight with them.
That's right. Pillow fighting with bags of dead flesh. Foreskins are pretty useless, though, you know.
Splat.
Foreskins don't really serve much of a purpose. They really don't.
No,
Yeah.
not really. But there's nothing to make me laugh like a bag of dead babies.
The bag of dicks has become a popular gift item this year.
Bag of dicks.
Yep, bag of dicks.
Okay, elaborate. What's the bag of dicks?
Bag of dicks is like a bag of these little gummy penises.
Ah,
Yeah, that's right.
So somebody can eat a bag of dicks.
That's right. Eat a bag of dicks. Which, whose joke was that? The Louis guy.
Louis C.K.
That's right. He's not getting any money off of that at all.
Nope.
But, I mean, that's kind of stand-up humor from the 70s, because they used to make, like, wisecracking gift items like that back in the 70s. Totally like, and that's old school, for sure. That's like pet rock kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
My mom went into a Spencer's for the first time in years the other day.
Hasn't changed a bit. Well,
she says it's changed quite a bit. She doesn't remember there being quite so many dildos for sale.
Oh no, they always had dildos, and that's what made it awesome. But you could still find like the fly in the thing of ice, right? You could still find the fake poop at
those terrible stripper poles that always break.
Right. Plenty of shot glasses with every kind of character you can imagine on them. Batman shot glasses, Beavis and Butthead shot glasses. There's a lot of branded material in there now, though. A lot of that stuff. But there's still a place to find black lights and lava lamps and other stuff you need for your dorm room.
I've always wanted a lava. I've never owned a lava lamp. I've always wanted one.
I've had a bunch of them, and they all suck. Eventually, they all break.
They do?
Well, I mean, it's just the way it's made. It's like a hot light underneath, and the new lava lamps, I guess they got to have some heating element in there, something, because it's got to be in. Because it used to be just the light itself is what heated up the lamp and made the lava stuff start moving. You know
so does the glass just break eventually?
It's just that the light bulb sucks. It's got to be hot. It's got to be hot in there. It's got to be generating heat, and that's. I mean, the bulb breaks out, and then the thing itself, it's just getting hot in there. It's getting hot in there.
Oh
so,
my God, no, let that song fade into obscurity.
And but there's ones that have glitter in there. Those suck. You want the one with the actual blob.
Yeah.
Yeah, the blob itself.
I always liked the ball with the plasma inside.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. The Tesla's thing.
I guess. I don't know what the hell they're called. I just call them the lightning ball.
It is plasma, but it is kind of a variation on the Tesla sphere, right? Bigger versions of that they have at the science centers and shit. That if you touch them for a while, your hair will like stand on end because it generates static electricity.
I've never been to a science center that had one of those.
It's awesome. There's a place like that in St. Louis. Yeah,
I've only been to St. Louis once in my entire life.
not bad. It's not bad.
I went to the art museum and I went to the zoo, and that's it.
Zoo's not bad.
No, the zoo was awesome. It had gorillas. I dug that.
Mm-hmm. Ape House.
Big, mean as fuck, angry-looking gorillas.
They're nice. They just look angry all the time. Resting bitch face kind of thing.
I don't know about that. I hear tell gorillas can fuck you up pretty bad.
Oh, sure they can, but not even trying. They'll just break you in half and be like,
Rawr.
wait a minute. Best of the worst movies of the year.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Like I said, though, it's kind of hard because let me look up a list.
No, let me give you a list of some of the best I've heard, right? I've heard The Martian, right?
Didn't see it.
I heard Creed.
Didn't see it.
I heard It Follows.
Didn't see it.
The Revenant.
Didn't see it.
Spectre.
Didn't see it.
That's what I heard. I heard those movies.
Like I said, I didn't see. Okay, Avengers: Age of Ultron. I'm gonna give that to like most forgettable movie of the year.
Really?
Yes, that movie was very, very, very forgettable because I just now fucking remembered it.
You forgot that even happened?
Yes, I forgot that even happened. That movie wasn't that fucking good. It was a serviceable Marvel movie that was destined to never live up to the hype of the first one.
It was doomed to not be able to.
Yeah, the first movie was hyped up as fuck. By the time this one came out, they had released a few movies that people didn't like very much.
Well, so I think it did it all right, considering it couldn't.
It was exactly what it is. It was a fucking 4-hour movie that had been chopped down to 2 hours.
Yeah, but I thought it was pretty cool for what it was. You know what I mean? Because I think I even when I saw it, I was thinking I had heard that they were going to release the unedited version on DVD, which they still might. They haven't yet, but they might, and that this would be expanded on. You know what I mean?
Well, let me elaborate. I don't hate the movie, but I just don't think it was all that good.
It wasn't. No.
I don't think the first one was all that good either, but that's just because of little details that bug me, like all the bad guys just shutting off Phantom Menace style at the end.
And they did that in the Avengers 2 as well.
They did, and I can't believe they got away with that twice.
They didn't really. I think people called them on Avengers 2 quite a bit. There was the reviews were not at all 100% positive for Avengers 2.
I think mood was slightly tarnished after Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 is when people really started going like, okay, what?
Well, Guardians of the Galaxy last year and Captain America Winter Soldier got people in a really good mood.
This is true.
So,
I liked Winter Soldier. I did not like the first Captain America at all, but I liked Winter Soldier.
Oh, and I finally saw Ant-Man, and I thought it was really groovy.
I didn't see Ant-Man, and I still don't want to see it. It's Ant-Man. I don't give a shit. Oh, Minions. I saw Minions.
No, for the best.
No, not for the best. Not for the best, no. I have not seen Despicable Me or Despicable Me 2. For what it was, I guess it was okay.
Right.
I'll give it this. It had probably the grooviest soundtrack of any fucking movie of the year.
No, what? That's the movie I've been hearing. No, the movie I've been hearing about animated this year. Everybody's talking about Inside Out.
I ain't seen that one. Seriously,
Me
though, Minions had an excellent soundtrack.
Get out of here.
It did, dude. It
No,
had,
not doing it.
it had like the door. It had like the Doors and shit on it.
Dude,
It was a
the
fully.
Minions, let me tell you, the Minions are the fucking McDonald's Happy Meal characters.
It doesn't matter. I'm saying the soundtrack was good.
Well, I think that they will make a McDonald's Happy Meal character movie, and it'll have a pretty good soundtrack.
It was basically the greatest hit of the '60s.
You're gonna hate the McDonald's Happy Meal movie until Will Arnett shows up as a voice character, and he's kind of funny.
Fuck Will Arnett.
Who would you, what celebrity voice talent would you be like? Oh, okay, I'll give it this a break. Because for me, with like, oh yeah, that's good. But for me, with like Space Jam, Bill Murray showing up at the end did so much to save that movie for me.
Dun 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 dun.
Right, it totally saved the entire fucking film. Without Bill Murray in it, no, Space Jam would be a piece of shit. I fucking hate it.
Bill Murray also uplifted Zombieland quite a bit.
Damn right he did.
That would not have been as good of a movie without the Bill Murray scene.
Gotta love it.
I saw part of Furious 7. I have never seen any of those movies. It was okay. All I gotta say is it was okay.
I saw the only movie I've seen is the Tokyo Drift movie. Yeah, and it has nothing to do with any of the other movies, as far as I know.
That's what I've heard too. Terminator Genesis, I saw that, and I guess that deserves one of the worst movies of the year, even though I liked it.
I put it on top of my list, just as I put it on top of my expected flops, because I was just so annoyed by it. I mean, ooh, it's in 3D. Ooh, it's all CG. And that's probably one of the big problems. Because it wasn't just Mad Max and Force Awakens that happened this year. It was also Jurassic World.
I didn't see that.
I saw it. I thought it was pretty good, but I'm not putting it anywhere near the best of the year. But it was definitely the second most successful film of the year behind Star Wars. That's saying a lot. That's saying a lot, you know?
I've never been a big fan of Jurassic Park, and I'm not a big fan of dinosaurs.
Well, the dinosaurs are all right, but what made the movie work was Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Because the dinosaurs were just like, you're supposed to care about a couple of the raptors because he trained them. But those scenes only work because Chris Pratt, right? Because he's talking to a CG raptor. It doesn't, CG raptor's not giving a good performance. Yeah.
There's that movie Ex Machina. I didn't see that, but I've been
didn't see it either.
I've heard it was good, like surprisingly good.
Right, but there's probably some twist in there, and that's what makes it good.
Let's see. God damn, I didn't see shit this year. Didn't see Mission Impossible. I didn't even know that happened. Didn't see the final Hunger Games. Didn't see Hateful Eight yet. Didn't see Creed. Didn't see Spectre. Didn't see Tomorrowland. Didn't see. What the fuck is Tangerine? I heard something about Tangerine recently.
No idea what that is. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, that's that movie with a trans actress that Caitlyn Jenner's trying to get an Oscar for it.
Now, okay, why What do you think is going to get nominated for Best Picture this year?
I don't know. I never fucking bother to guess shit like that.
I mean, I always do, but what I'm looking at is what is it? Is it a year that's almost clear for Quentin Tarantino to finally get his big shot?
Maybe. I don't know. The Best Picture Oscar is always like between a movie I've heard of and then a bunch of movies I've never heard of.
Yeah, but I think it's got a shot to get up there.
Let's see. I didn't see Straight Outta Compton.
But
I heard
again,
that was
it's
amazing.
not a Best Picture contender. You know what I mean? Hateful Eight. It's really not, because it's not. There's no deep emotions. There's no sentimentality. There's no truth to it because it's not based on a true story, or it's not even inspired by it, or take place in a period that's real at all. Nothing's real about it, and it's all movied up. You know, it's very aware it's a Western and plays on cliches and shit.
Let's see here. Apparently, there was a biopic about Amy Winehouse this year. I didn't see that either. Or Black Mass or 50 Shades of Grey.
Heard Black Mass was not that good.
That's disappointing because it looked like it was going to be amazing.
Looked really good, but you know that's how trailers are.
Didn't see Everest, didn't see Pan, didn't see The Intern, didn't see Maze Running, I did see Pixels. Pixels was not as bad as everyone said it was.
Yeah.
That's
what I heard.
I
heard that it wasn't as bad as everyone said it was, which is a weird thing to say, which is what the trailers should have said.
It's what it looks like in the trailers. It's a movie where the fucking Atari characters all attack, and they have to fight them in a manner similar to how you fight them in the game.
Well, they should have said that in the trailers. You're like, Pixels, it's not as bad as you might have heard.
The best line in the movie is Adam Sandler when they drive up, and he's like, Pac-Man's a bad guy.
Yeah.
And then, like, the creator of Pac-Man tries to have, like, a sentimental moment. And it goes exactly like it does for that general in that Godzilla movie who thinks that he's got, like, a bond with Godzilla and he gets the nuclear breath to the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pac-Man wakas his arm off. He's like, kill this fucking Pac-Man! The stupidest thing in the whole movie, though, is when they're like, Peter Dinklage won because he used a cheat code. A cheat code on an Atari-era fucking arcade machine.
Pac-Man?
I think it was Donkey Kong.
See, there is no cheat code for Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I know. Donkey Kong is like the final boss of the movie. Which I was cool with because I wasn't really paying attention to the plot all that much. So I was wondering, like, who's the final boss going to be? And then I was like, of course it's Donkey Kong.
Right, but he also fights Centipede and Frogger.
Yes, he fights Centipede. That's actually a pretty cool scene, I thought. I thought the whole movie looked cool. Like...
Well, I heard that there was a female character who comes to life.
Yeah, there's like this guy who's got this weird fixation on this video game character, I think, and she becomes real. And, come to think of it, I don't think I saw the end of the movie.
Or you don't remember it at all.
Yeah, I either don't remember the end of the movie or I didn't watch the end of the movie. But I did see that she becomes, like, real.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of fight, but then she likes, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got you.
It wasn't the abortion I was told it was going to be, but it wasn't that good either.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's just kind of a half-baked idea. It sounds like it was never fully baked.
I never liked the idea of the movie because it's a ripoff of a fucking Futurama episode.
Which was somebody ripped off, and what they did was they made a little animated effects Project.
I've seen that. It's like a short film.
Right. Yeah. And that's what Adam Sandler saw, and he bought the rights to.
He's like, let's make a fucking movie about this.
Well, you know, Ben Stiller bought the rights to Fistful of Quarters, The King of Kong.
I don't know what that is.
It's a documentary about Billy Mitchell and Steve Wiebe, the two guys that were, well, okay, Billy Mitchell, he broke the Pac-Man world record back.
I know who Billy Mitchell is. He's got a hot sauce.
And then Steve Wiebe was a guy who was trying to beat his record. And there's a great Steve Wiebe. Or Steve Wiebe. Steve Wiebe. Steve Wiebe. But I even saying his name, Steve Wiebe, I got into the mindset of Billy Mitchell and all of his cronies down at the official arcade score-keeping place. They were trying to prevent Steve Wiebe from getting his high score recognized. And the documentary is great because Billy Mitchell plays these mind games. It's amazing. It's an amazing documentary, right?
Sounds interesting, I guess.
You got to see it. If it's on Netflix, I think it's on YouTube right now.
Let's keep going down the list of movies, though.
Right. But basically what I'm saying is that Ben Stiller bought the rights to King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters, and watching the movie I was thinking, yeah, I can see that because I can see Ben Stiller playing the jerky guy with the mullet who's like, you'll never be my high score. I could see like a what's the other guy who was always in his movie? The guy from Swingers.
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn being the Steve Wiebe character who's genuinely trying to get the high score and save the fucking day.
I hate Ben Stiller, and it just registered in my head that you were talking about Ben Stiller. I hate Ben Stiller intensely. He is awful.
He is awful. He is one of the worst people on the planet. But watching the documentary, like making a comedy out of this is pointless because it's just there.
Yeah.
You know? The documentary is so great. Yeah.
So back to the list. The Visit, which I also didn't see, but I heard was surprisingly good for a Shyamalan movie.
I saw it. My girlfriend saw the twist coming. I did not.
Oh, there is a twist?
There is a twist.
I was told there was no twist in this movie.
There is so a twist. Whoever told you there's no twist didn't see the movie, because it's definitely a twist. Definitely a twist.
Wait, let me make sure. The Visit. This is where the girl goes and visits her creepy grandparents, right?
That's right. That's right.
Wait. Okay. Has she ever met her grandparents before? Answer the question, Teddy.
You figured it out already, I think.
Yeah. Has she ever met her grandparents before?
You figured it out. You figured it out. You tell me.
They're not really her. They're not really her grandparents. They're two crazy people that they think they're her grandparents.
You know, basically.
Ooh.
And it was so foreshadowed in the movie. The grandparents volunteer at the little crazy person home down the street, right? And while the grandparents are away, a couple people from the old folks home come by, and they're like, "We haven't seen them by in a little while. Here's a cake for them whenever they're around, you know." Oh, did you hear that a couple insane people escaped a couple days ago? I didn't pick up on it. I didn't pick up on it at all.
They murdered the grandparents, didn't they?
In self-defense.
Uh-huh.
And it didn't bother the kids at all. In fact, they resolved a couple of their character traits or the kid had to wash his hands often because of something, and the girl couldn't look herself in the mirror because of something. But by the end of the movie, there's a nice little epilogue. The whole movie's done found footage, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's all done found footage. The little girl is a little M. Night Shyamalan talking about Meisen's scene and cinematic theory while she's holding the camera.
I did
interviewing
not
her brother for character building and stuff. You're like, ever since Dad broke up with Mom, and Mom's on a cruise, so they Skype with her all the time. But on the first day, Grandma, she spilled some pancake batter on the lens of the Skype camera, so they can see Mom, but she can't see them. And, of course, she can't identify that they're not her grandparents, which I did not pick up on. I thought they were aliens or something. The ghosts, the poltergeists. They're possessed. They're possessed by creatures that don't like water. I don't know.
Huh. Okay, well, next on the list is Magic Mike XXL, which I have not watched and I don't plan on it.
And I called it. That movie did open better than Terminator.
Something called Dope. If I'm not mistaken, I wanted to see Dope.
There's a movie that didn't do well, just came out this year. Everyone's expecting it to do well, but I think it might not have done well because people didn't want to actually say the words to get the tickets for the movie at the box office.
What?
Get Hard. It's just like Will Ferrell playing White, and
oh, I saw that. That movie was stupid.
It was a Kevin Hart. Yeah, Kevin Hart playing a weenie black guy who's trying to teach Will Ferrell to be black, which has been done so many times with so many ex-SNL guys trying to be black or something like that.
Isn't that almost the exact same plot as that movie, the new guy or the new kid or something?
Or no, what was it? Shit, I had it a second ago. Steve Martin movie with Queen Latifah, where she's teaching him to be like Hood or something like that. That's what I was thinking. I don't know. It's stupid. There was a lot of bad comedies this year. Oh, and the remakes, the straight-up remakes, all flopped. And there weren't that many. We had a new Poltergeist that just got ignored completely. Nobody cared.
I ignored it myself on the list of movies.
And Vacation. Nobody cared.
I didn't see Vacation.
And I think that's great. Nobody gave a shit. The original Vacation, National Lampoon's Vacation, remains untouched, and that's fine. Same with Poltergeist. No harm, no foul. Right? It's like they didn't happen.
Fan Force Stick, which I didn't see, and I'm not going to.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. There's no point. It's not gonna make another movie.
Mordecai.
Right, I called that movie flopping, and yeah.
I don't think that's how you spell Mordecai. Maybe
I don't know what the hell that is. I think it's based on a British TV show, or British pulp character from a book or something.
I kind of wanted to see it because I thought it looked funny, but I didn't expect it to do well because it's kind of trendy to hate on Johnny Depp now.
Yep. He's going to have a hard sell on the next pirate movie, harder than he did last time.
Insurgent, I didn't see. I don't think I even heard of that one. Hitman, I didn't see. Victor Frankenstein, I want to see.
Mm-hmm. Yet another Frankenstein movie.
And that's where the list ends. After that, the only movie I can think of this year is Unfriended, which I also liked. I didn't love it, but I was surprised at how good the idea was done. It was an interesting idea.
Well, I didn't think the movies were even that bad this year. There wasn't that big a list of terrible movies.
No, just really big stinkers that were in the list. People just hated Genesis and they hated Fantastic Four.
Well, I mean, yeah, but last year we had Saving Christmas, right? we had Nicolas Cage in the Left Behind.
Saving,
Left
yeah,
Behind, right? Yeah,
Saving Christmas shouldn't. Saving Christmas does not count.
it came out. It hit theaters.
Wait, it did?
Yes, it did.
That was a theatrical
It was a
release?
theatrical release. Yes.
Oh, I thought that was straight to DVD.
No, it played in theaters. It got.
Oh,
yeah.
man. That's terrible.
Right? Yeah.
Why is Kirk Cameron in theatrical movies? That shouldn't be allowed.
Christian publishing companies.
Come on, Jews, repress this guy. You're supposed to run Hollywood.
Well, see, recently, the Christians have gotten into publishing. Did you know that the National Geographic was bought by Rupert Murdoch?
Oh, no.
So, yeah, and already they're publishing online. You know, look at these articles they're putting up about, you know, like biblical history and stuff like that.
You know, speaking of National Geographic, I had a thought. White people, they get so pissed off if there's a titty slip on TV, or like a celebrity gets naked in Playboy, or, you know, Janet Jackson's tit popping out at the fucking Super Bowl despite being almost completely hidden by what I think is the glaive from Grohl.
Basically, yep.
But they don't complain about all the titties and cocks and pussies flopping around in the National Geographic documentaries.
Well, we're done with that now, because Fox News now owns National Geographic.
Oh, we'll still get it, but we'll get like documentaries about the brutal tribes now.
Well, I mean, Nat Geo was already headed that way because Nat Geo did that thing about mermaids.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah, mermaids, they're fucking real.
Then a bunch of people were like, mermaids are real. National Geographic said so.
Oh, sorry about that.
Hello, Teddy's girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's a female voice and it's late at night, so I'm assuming it's your girlfriend.
That's right.
I guess the plot of I guess the twist of the visit too.
All right. Oh, he guessed the plot or the plot twist in Visit.
I guessed it without seeing the movie.
Without seeing it, I just told him there was a plot twist, and he was like,
most obvious plot twist possible.
Yeah. Like, there's a plot twist, and he's like, there is? And he was like, have they ever met their grandparents before? I thought it was aliens or something. Seriously did.
That's terrible if I can guess the plot twist just from a fucking trailer, man.
But okay, in the movie, they set up that the little kid has a problem where he has to wash his hands. He's like a germ freak. Yeah. Just so, at the end of the movie, the grandpa, who's incontinent, can rub his diaper in his face. And it's like, oh my God, that must really bother him because he's a germaphobe? But I'm like...
disgusting.
Right, you didn't have to set up him being a germaphobe for him not wanting shit in his face. I'm like, that's unnecessary character development, just so that, you know, it's much more traumatizing.
This really sounds like a Shyamalan movie the more you talk about it. a little boy with some kind of a fucking defect, either personality-wise or fucking health-wise. A teenage girl, creepy grandparents. I bet the acting was really hammy. Was it hammy?
The acting of the kids was very old. They acted like old people. You know what I mean? And the old people acted like little children. They were like weird, and they were like, like it was on and off crazy. One minute they're all super sane, the next minute they're all, you know, super crazy.
Shyamalan's movies are strange. They're terrible the first time you see them, and then after that, they're really, really funny. Like, the first time I saw The Happening, I was completely pissed off.
Right.
Second time,
Then the second time you laughed at it, right?
yes, the second time I could not stop laughing at the hot dogs guy. They're the perfect food. They look cool. They got a nice name. Hot dogs, man. They're the perfect food.
I kept backing up the tape to watch the people falling off the building again. They're just going like, whoa! They're just like, Yui, like, yeah.
It's just mind blowing how
Yeah.
he took that premise and somehow managed to make a bad horror movie out of it. That's a horror movie that writes itself. Everybody is killing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking disturbing as shit. You should be able to make a horror movie out of that with no effort.
Well, there's a lot of people who like Lady in the Water for the weird reasons. I don't know. Because it's weird.
That movie's confusing.
I don't know what's going on.
That movie is intentionally confusing.
Yeah. I like The Village, all right. You know?
I didn't like The Village.
So it was all right. It's all right.
I've never finished watching The Village because I had the fucking plot twist of that one spoiled before going into it.
Yeah,
so.
she jumps over the wall, but she's blind. We see, but she still doesn't see, right?
Yeah.
She gets out of the wall. We see a Jeep and, you know, and whatnot. We get, oh, okay. But she still doesn't because she's blind, you know? She goes back to the village still believing in the village, right?
Smelling of gasoline and city.
Right, but they're out in the middle of nowhere, and I think and there's like a no-fly zone over the village.
It's like a government experiment or something, isn't it?
Well, yeah, they used to be some important people in the world before they decided to just abandon the world.
Oh, I thought it was like a social experiment thing.
No. It's just that the people there, we get news clippings that they had family murdered and they decided to give up civilization.
Huh.
Right.
If you're going to do that, why live as pilgrims when you can live as knights?
Yeah. Now, there you go.
You could
And
be you could be beating rugs with cats and selling shrubberies.
No, let's redo the village, except call it the tribe.
How long? Okay. I got a
You're
question.
totally grounded, right? They're living in mud huts, right?
I have
Civilization on the other side of the wall, right?
I have a question, and it's going to hurt you when I ask you because you're going to realize that this is inevitable. How long do you give it before they try to remake Monty Python?
Oh, they already did.
Did they?
I mean, with this Spam-A-Lot, they've already recast the group of knights as, you know, we've been played by that one guy from Frasier, that one guy from something or other, and you know.
What's Spam-A-Lot?
Spam-A-Lot is the Broadway musical version of basically the story of the Holy Grail, but jokes thrown in from Life of Brian and other Python routine stuff. And people say it's good, but I'm like, yeah. I mean,
a movie, though. How long do you give it before somebody tries to remake the Holy Grail or Life of Brian?
Well, you may see a thing like The Producers, where they turn the Spam-A-Lot into a movie, and that would kind of qualify.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
will they wait until they're all dead or not?
Yeah, but considering they're almost all still alive, compared to like who's dead.
I think Graham Chapman is the only one who's dead.
Right. He's the only one who's dead, but compared to like Star Trek, there's so many dead already, you know.
Yeah.
And there's so many of the Star Trek crews dead, and you know.
I wouldn't mind seeing the Monty Python crew getting together and making another movie themselves.
Right. That's not going to happen, though. They already did what they said was going to be the last thing they ever did.
I mean, if they did, I guess they could replace Graham Chapman with Eddie Izzard.
Well, yeah, did you hear that about Eddie Izzard? Okay. Apparently, on the last time they went through, right, John Cleese apparently was fucking up or something. Mm-hmm. And he went backstage, Eddie Izzard was there, and he's like, I fucked up there. And he was like, Eddie Izzard was like, no, that was amazing. He's like, because we've seen you do it right so many times. Seeing you doing it differently was hilarious. So John Cleese started intentionally doing lines wrong just to see what the other guys were going to do. He'd say it like a line, huh? It's just like, so Eddie Izzard actually got him to do some different stuff at the last show they ever did. Supposedly.
Did you ever hear about the album Free Hat and Tie? I think that's what it's called.
Is that an Eddie Izzard album?
No, it's a Monty Python album, an LP from back in like the 70s, I think.
I didn't know they did make records.
Okay, now listen to this. On either one side or both sides, I don't remember what it was, the record was double cut, which means that depending on where you put the needle, you would hear an entirely different record.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And there was nothing on the packaging that indicated that. They did not release that information, and both sides were listed side B. The intention was to completely fuck with everybody who bought the album, because they'd be like, wait a minute, what the fuck? I don't remember any of this. Is this the right side? And then they flip it over and they hear what they just heard. They're like, okay, wait a minute. And then they flip it back over and then they hear something else. Side C. And they're like, what?
It's hard to fuck with people like that now. You know?
It is.
It's very hard. I mean, because there were other stuff. Cheech and Chong albums used to do that.
I always thought it'd be cool to put a hidden track on an album that somehow was triggered by going forward and back in a certain combination.
Well, you know, Beck would always have a hidden track, like way at the end of the last track on the CD, right? But this was based on the age of the LP, where one side would be longer than the other, so the one side would just have a lot of dead space, and they'd hide something in there, right?
Yeah.
But you could actually look at the record and see where it was grooved and where it wasn't. So no real surprise there, you know.
Yeah.
But the age of records is the age of records is still the longest period for any format. Any format.
They're still around. I've been to a music.
Still around.
I have been to a music store.
Nothing like they used to be, but you know.
I have been to a music store recently where you can buy LPs and record players.
Yeah, but music stores aren't what they were.
No, they're not. The selection of records, though, was surprisingly expansive, including modern albums.
There are some record stores in St. Louis and Chicago that have been around the whole fucking time. You know what I mean? Places that weathered the storm, and now they're like this retro place.
Places that will stand the test of time simply because they have a brand name.
Right, and they'll be there tomorrow and the next day, hopefully.
Hopefully,
right?
Yeah.
But there was a place in Chicago that just closed recently. The Alley, Chicago, closed, which was the place in Chicago to buy all the club and goth wear, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was the place to go to buy the spiked wrist bracelets and shit.
That stuff is so far out of style right now.
Yeah. Well, and there's Hot Topic.
Hot Topic does not sell that shit anymore.
Well, yeah, not really, because it's not really all that popular anymore. But you know,
Hot Topic sells like movie merchandise mostly. I didn't go into a Hot Topic, but I walked past one about a week ago in a mall, and I glanced inside, and seriously, all I saw was band and movie shirts
and brony stuff.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I see a lot of brony and anime stuff in there too.
While I was at that mall, I did get to hold a 50 caliber Barrett 50 anti-material rifle.
Oh, cool.
It was so amazing.
Dude,
that gun weighed like 19 pounds.
There was a Spencer Gifts there, of course, right?
Oh, yes, of course.
Always.
I didn't go in. I didn't have any money, so I didn't want to torture myself.
Yeah, I always like malls. Just browse around.
Yeah, but sometimes you get pissed off because you see something you want so bad, but you don't have $500 to dump on it.
Yeah.
Like, I was in a store that sold swords with my cousin, and he saw it. I saw it before he did. They had a fucking Klingon batleth.
Oh, nice.
And he loved Star Trek, and he wanted that so much, but it was like $150.
Oh. Well, I want the little knife with the little pop-out hands on it. You know what I mean?
I think they had that too.
That's cool with the pop-out little things like, you know.
I do not. I don't understand why places sell switchblades when they're so fucking illegal.
For decoration. For decoration. Same way they get away with head shops. You know what I mean?
True.
That's for smoking tobacco. Right? Yeah.
I'm going to be getting a pistol soon because I learned a fucking interesting fact about black powder weapons.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you can just buy them and they're cheap and they don't require all the stupid paperwork, registration, and all the other bullshit I don't want to do. So I'm going to get a black powder 6-shooter. I've always wanted one.
Wait, so you just can load it up with black powder in a bolt?
And a bullet, yeah. It's a reproduction of the original 6-shooters. They didn't use bullets, they used black powder.
I want to make some lethal Nerf guns.
Ha!
They're
also legal to hunt with, so I'm going to start hunting. Another hobby I can pick up besides painting.
Go musket hunting.
I want to get a musket. It's all so much cheaper than you'd think it'd be. You'd think a black powder revolver that's a reproduction of like an 1800s gun would be like special order price level, you know, like shitty, unbelievable price, but it's only like $255 for a 44 caliber gun of high quality.
Ooh. So 44 is like the Magnum.
Yeah.
It'll blow your head clean off.
As long as the fucking barrel is a certain length, I'll be able to hunt with it.
Hey, so I was wrong about the meme of the year being Little Ralphie in Christmas Story with the lightsaber, and he's like, "You'll cut your arm off, right?" You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's the traitor stormtrooper.
Traitor. That's what nobody expected, right? That's not official. That's the fans. They made up that name.
That guy was pretty cool.
Yeah, but they featured him in the trailers.
I didn't really realize it until the second time I watched it, but that thing he's using is essentially a big Star Wars nightstick.
Right. Now, and I've seen some great memes where they have him chasing after Finn, calling him a traitor, right? Mm-hmm. Combined with the one meme, remember that Guess Who game? We got to guess who he is. Does he have blue eyes? Is he blonde? Right?
Yeah.
And there's only one black guy on there. If you say, is he black? It's like, oh, of course it's him. And in the meme, it's a stormtrooper, and he's like, is he a traitor?
Like, I like the one with Jules from Pulp Fiction that says, "Does he look like a bitch?"
And he's like, does he look like a traitor? Right? Yeah. It's great. It's great.
Is there only one black guy on Guess Who?
That's right.
Really?
That's right.
Wow.
So that's how you win. Is he black? That's how you win the game. You're like, does he have glasses? Oh, he doesn't. Oh, I click. Does he have a mustache? Yes. Oh, clip.
Does he have rape face? Yes. click.
Is he black?
So the image of, speaking of black rapists, the image of Bill Cosby being arrested is the single most depressing image of all time.
No, it was that picture you put up a little while ago.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. That is the most depressing thing I've ever seen.
Jesus Christ.
Poor Bobby Heenan. For the wrestling fans that might be watching, Bobby Heenan does not have a jaw anymore. His jaw has been removed.
Wow.
Yeah.
So and Rowdy Piper, he looked fine. He really
He
did.
did.
He looked fine. And it's unfortunate. So Bobby Heenan's still around, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still alive. He's got cancer really bad, though.
Yep. And shit.
I got curious because I was watching that Ultimate Warrior DVD, and this really skinny old dude kept popping up, and I was like, who is that? And then I realized, oh my God, that's Bobby Heenan. What happened to him? And I looked him up. I'm like, oh my God, it got so much worse.
Yep. He's going to get worse. It's, oh, man. Oh, man. It's a good thing he was a little thinner, so it looks almost okay. Because when they took fucking Ebert's jaw off, he just looked incredibly weird.
They both look incredibly weird. They look exactly like each other.
Yep. There you go. That's the saddest moment in 2015.
Only I hate Roger Ebert, so in his case it was funny. I was like, fuck you, now you can't talk, you fucker.
Well, they are still the peak of movie review.
I know, but I still hate them intensely.
Right, well, that was half the fun, is that there's two of them, and they would debate about movies. Anybody else is like, who cares? Who cares? Nobody cares. You know?
Gene Shalit.
Yep. Right, he was just on the Today Show, and everybody watched the Today Show anyway.
Gene Shalit is still alive?
Apparently.
Wow, I thought he died in the 90s.
Nope, he just looks like shit. People look like shit will live forever.
I heard. Okay. Get this. Apparently Gallagher has become a very racist comedian.
Nice.
Apparently Gallagher is all edgy and racist now.
Well, there's the problem with Gallagher, is that Gallagher has a twin brother who tours
too.
Right. He's he doesn't want to be Gallagher too, but he's been forced to be. He will tour around as Gallagher if his brother would let him.
He sued him.
Right. So, which one of you is Gallagher? Well, you both go around by your last name. You're fucking twin brothers.
There can be only one, you immortal fuck.
Right. And he smashes watermelons. How hard is that? Why can't there be two of those? It's literally like if Carrot Top had a twin brother.
Let's give credit where credit's due, though. A lot of people know who Gallagher is.
Right.
I've heard he's a terrible comedian, but he is.
Well, let me give you an idea what his material is usually like. It is like Carrot Top. He's a prop comedian, but he's also got that kind of sensibility. Like, you know who Ray Stevens is?
No.
Kind of a country comedian.
Never heard of him.
He doesn't do country, although he does do songs, but they're musical comedy songs. He's about on that caliber. He's like Jeff Foxworthy, you know? Yeah.
I know a comedian like that, Rodney Carrington.
He's like that. But he's G-rated for the most part.
Oh, I hate G-rated comedians.
But yet, still edgy, G-rated? What the fuck? What does that even mean? It's smashing watermelons is what it is.
I do kind of like Carrot Top. I don't know. He's been funny in a few things I've seen.
Well, I mean, it's because I'm saying Ray Stevens would do racist jokes about Arab and stuff like that, right?
I see.
Ahab the Arab, he lived in Ahab, and he had a towel on his head or something, right? He's known for a song about a streaker. Some old lady goes running naked through the neighborhood, right? And that one.
Lord.
There's another song he's known for about a squirrel that gets loose in a church and runs up old lady's skirts.
This all sounds really stupid.
It is. He is the Christian Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh.
And I would say that Gallagher is, he's the non-musical Weird Al Yankovic.
I like a couple musical comedians. Stephen Lynch is funnier than fuck.
I like a couple. I don't know how Weird Al Yankovic managed to be the top of his game, but I guess there's not a lot of competition.
There's not.
It's like
Stephen Lynch is like extremely offensive.
Well, I thought that Zach Galifianakis could have been a musical comedian. He did play piano in one of his bits.
I don't like him at all. He skeeves me out something fierce. He weirds me out bad.
I liked him because of the comedian thing where he was playing a piano and doing a comedian bit. That's the first place I saw him, so that's where I thought.
I think I've seen that. Isn't he like wearing tights?
No, he's just wearing a suit. It's called him at the Purple Onion, and he's just playing piano in front of a big purple wall. So I know he's in Purple Onion because wall purple behind him.
Dana Carvey is pretty funny on stand-up when he's playing music.
Yep, he's very funny like that.
You guys like those really stupid monologues that musicians do before they play music, like do do do. You know, a long time ago there was a lot of people, but that was a long time ago.
He did that on Saturday Night Live. The chopping broccoli. Yeah. Chopping broccoli.
He transitions into that song on one of his stand-ups, and he has this little grin. He gets the Garth grin on his face before he does it.
He was specifically talented for SNL. Very specifically talented to do that show. Gift for character, gift for skits. But
he is
He
is musically talented though, because he can play drums, guitar, and piano.
Yeah. If he had taken the Jimmy Fallon course, the course Jimmy Fallon took and took on a talk show, that probably would have been the best career path for him, I would say.
I would watch a Dana Carvey talk show.
Yep.
I keep hearing there's going to be a Wayne's World 3, and I don't really want that.
No, but there's going to be a Bill and Ted 3.
Ooh, I don't want that either. It's
happening. Keanu Reeves has really got nothing else on his schedule right now. The script is done, and financing is ready. So any day now, I mean, it's like the Ninja Turtles. You'll just see the trailer, and it'll be like, oh, like there it is, it's done, and it's out, and it'll be like, oh shit, it doesn't look half bad. You know what I'm saying?
Independence Day 2's trailer makes
it
look really good.
Just like Independence Day 2. I was just hearing rumors. Oh, so I hear rumors. And then trailer. What? It's done?
I was a little disappointed the second time. The first time I saw Force Awakens, we got there the moment my butt hit the seat a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away popped up on the screen. So we got there just in time. Second time I got there like an hour early, and I was like excited for the trailers, and they were all trailers I had already seen.
Right.
Like every single one of them.
Yeah, same here. But I watch a lot of trailers, so I was kind of expecting that. I saw the Warcraft trailer, and I was like, meh.
Yeah, Warcraft, X-Men Apocalypse, Independence Day, not Harry Potter, but Harry Potter, you know what I mean? And right. I think one other.
Well, I mean, But think about this. In a year from now, right, when everybody's getting excited for when's that trailer for the next Star Wars movie coming out with Luke in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do a trailer where it starts off in space and these alien ship is flying over and they're looking. We found them, You've been waiting. And then, boom, they're like, we are looking for the wild stallions. And then they see them turn around and they're like, bogus, and it's like, it's gonna be like, wow, no, it's happening, right?
And they're gonna look really old and really pathetic.
But they're gonna play that up because they're losers who are kind of depressed about the fact that they haven't come up with that song that supposedly saves the world yet. Right, because that's the story. They write the song that saves the world. Right.
It's gonna be weird there being no George Carlin.
True, but I think they might just be able to avoid that with something else.
There's gonna be a Jackass 4.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
They gotta wait a little longer to do that.
Yeah, they do. But it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that should happen at all because, Dunn is dead. But I also don't think it should happen because at this point it's going to look really pathetic. All these dudes in their 40s doing Jackass stuff.
Well, I mean, it's even the Fast and Furious guys are not hopping on another Fast and Furious movie. And those guys are soulless, money-grabbing whores, right? They're going to wait a little while to make Fast and Furious 8 something special because one guy's dead. But no,
I can kind of understand why they're making another Jackass. Knoxville is literally the only one that has a career at this point.
And he doesn't even really. Being the voice of Leonardo and then in the Teenage Mutant Star Wars Jurassic Terminator, it doesn't matter.
I do not like that he's the voice of one of the Ninja Turtles because he's got such a distinctive voice.
I didn't hear it at all, though. I was watching the movie, listening to it, and I'm like, it just doesn't sound like Johnny Knoxville.
Dude, I heard it immediately, and I didn't know he was in the movie. He started talking, I'm like, oh my god, is that Johnny? That is Johnny Knoxville. What the fuck? Mm-hmm. Couldn't he try to not sound like himself? Okay, here's the question about Jackass 4. Which skit is going to almost kill Knoxville this time? Because the last 3 movies, he almost died all 3 times.
What was it that killed him in the 3 movies?
The first time he almost died because of the Butterbean fight where he got his head.
Okay. All right.
And because of the golf cart crash that almost killed him.
All right.
That really almost killed him. Like, he almost broke his neck. The second movie, okay, is it the second or the third movie that ends with a musical number?
The second one?
Okay, so he almost died there where that house set fell on him and accordioned his body like a cartoon character.
Right.
And he almost died on the Big Red Rocket skit. He almost got his chest blown out. And the third one, I'm not sure. I'd have to watch the third one again, but I'm pretty sure there's a skit where he almost got killed again.
Well, it's like a Jackie Chan movie.
Oh, you mean, yeah, Chan always injures himself somehow.
Always. You see that, and that became a regular part of the movies. At the end of the movie, you'd see all these outtakes where he fucks up.
Yeah.
And one where he fucks up severely, and you see him like going around with a cast for the rest of the fucking behind the scenes. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
I went back and watched the first Jackass movie, hoping that at that skit at the end where they show them all as old men, I was hoping that Dunn was the first one who died in that, so I could invent a conspiracy theory. But sadly, it wasn't. The joke on that skit, though, was that Steve-O survives, and everybody pretty much expected Steve-O to be the first one to die, including Steve-O.
Yeah. Well, he didn't die. He didn't die.
Because he had such a crazy drug problem.
Right.
Because of his drug problem, and because his drug problem led to him doing the most dangerous skits. If you look at the Jackass stunts, Steve-O always did ones that were like incredibly dangerous, like tightrope walking over a fucking pond full of alligators, or jumping off a high dive on stilts. And they're before the skit, they're like, "Are you going to be able to swim with those?" Nope.
Well,
So what's gonna happen? He's like, I don't know. I'm gonna sink, I think.
the pecking order though was that they'll even if he turned it down, then they go to him, and then they turned it down to the next guy. And the last guy in the pecking order was the guy that had his tooth knocked out several times.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, but he was the last guy. If nobody else wanted to do it, they made him do it.
Remember when they yanked his tooth out with a Lamborghini?
Yeah. Yeah, well, he
Jesus.
knocked it out again when he riding around in a supermarket.
Yeah,
in a little
I think you
cart.
knocked my tooth out again.
Yeah.
Dude, for years and years and years, since I was a teenager, I've been trying to figure out what that fucking dude is yelling when they have him joust into Bam in that convenience store on a bike.
Yeah.
He says something like, I saw a penny method, with me. I've always wondered what the fuck he's yelling right there, because it sounds like an epic medieval threat.
Oh no.
I've always liked the first one the most because the second one they went a little too gross with it a couple times.
Yeah, yeah.
And the third one, they're all old and it's kind of lame. The second one had that skit where you're just like, Bam, the evidence that you're gay is really stacking up. Where he had the fucking dildo on the strongman thing.
Right. Yeah. Oh,
And
man.
that wasn't even the original idea. The original idea was it's going to hit him in the nuts. He's like, no, it should be a dildo going up my ass.
And they're like,
Okay. You might prolapse, Bam, but okay.
oh, dude, I got an idea for a video I'm going to do. A Teddy video, right? Okay, I got it. The title of the video is going to be called "The Black Shit in Batman's Eyes." We're going to talk about, the black makeup around Batman's eyes. You know what I'm saying?
And does the cartoon and comic book one wear it?
No. Well, I will mention that in the comics, he's always got eyelids and stuff. And in the cartoon, yeah, they're white. But, superhero eyes usually are. Robin's eyes were white. Wolverine. Even the Ninja Turtles got white eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, in the movies, he wears black makeup, and that's established. But in Batman 2, Batman Returns, we see him take off his mask and, magically no black makeup, right? Mm-hmm. Show that split second before where you can see his flesh-colored eyes and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to get that image from Kick-Ass where Nicolas Cage is painting around his eyes.
Yeah.
Like he does that. He does it. Now, It never really came up in the Christian Bale Batman movies. It just didn't come up.
No, it didn't.
But in the new Ben Affleck movie, I don't know.
I don't think there is a scene where we get to see him take off anything from that suit.
Yeah, in that teaser trailer where he's chained up. And Superman comes by.
No, Christian Bale.
Right, no, it never happens. We never see that transit. Never see him take off the mask, except when Bane beats him up. But after that, he gets washed with water, so whatever.
Well, he doesn't really take that mask off. He gets it beaten off.
Right. Beaten off.
You said beating off.
Beaten off. It was beaten off. So, but in the teaser trailer for Batman vs Superman, Superman walks up, sees him, and he's got the black makeup on his eyes. Then he rips the mask off of Ben Affleck, and he gets really mad, like, "What happened to the black makeup?"
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be Well, now they're making Batman's eyes glow for real. Now he's got real glowing eyes in the metal suit.
I keep forgetting there's a Deadpool movie coming out.
Well, he's got white eyes in that movie too.
Yeah, his eyes are like CG'd, so we get the expressive white eyes.
Yep, we're gonna get eyes that show expressions, and he's gonna be totally. We're gonna see how that looks.
I
Versus
like
feature
the
film.
idea that they're doing that because, it'd be cool to see it done in other superheroes. It might have helped the Green Lantern movie a little bit, the look at least.
Yeah.
Because they CG'd the mask and suit for some goddamn reason.
In which one?
The Green Lantern movie.
Yeah, I don't know. Right? I was very confused about the whole design of that thing. The green.
I have a question
stuff.
for you. A question for you. The first video of yours I ever saw was actually your worst superhero movies of all time video. I'm curious if that list has changed for you.
Wait.
Just in general, are there any movies that you would add to the list now?
Of the worst superhero movies?
Yeah, I think the number one you listed was Steel.
Yeah. Some of that stays the same. I've been meaning to redo that list. In fact, I was putting together a different list, even with the worst video game movies of all time.
It's an old video. It's one of the videos where it's not even a video, you're using still images in it.
Yeah, I definitely need to change that one, because the spirit needs to go on that list.
Yeah, what hooked my eye for that video and got me to watch it was that your thumbnail was Nuclear Man.
Yeah. And that's not even the worst. I think that's like number 5. I almost give that a pass.
Almost, yeah, because it's so terrible that it's actually kind of good.
But I got a lot of shit for putting Daredevil on that list.
Really?
Yeah, I hate that.
A lot of Daredevil fans, are there?
Yeah, they're like, it's not that bad. And I'm like, so I did another video where I was like, what movie's worse than or better than Daredevil? Or worse.
You always get really, really stupid haters, though. Like the dude who got pissed off at the Joss Furstein video, where he's like, "You shouldn't make fun of him, dude. It's just a video of him breathing in. It's just a joke."
Don't make fun of him.
I got a hater one time on a Little Karibo video, an episode of the Mark Remark. I just commented, I'm like, "Hey, man. What's up with the lighting in the video? Halfway through it, you look completely different." And he actually responded. He's like, "I don't have any lighting in my studio, so I just have to rely on natural light." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." And then this other guy pops up. He's like, "Don't pay attention to the haters." I'm like, "What the fuck, you stupid cunt? I was just asking what's up with the lighting. I'm not criticizing the guy."
That's criticism.
I like Little Karibo. He's funnier than fuck. He's got the funniest wrestling show I've ever watched.
But that's criticism to an Asperger's. They don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
And there's plenty of the Asperger's. I got a theory on why the stupid is so powerful online. It's just that getting online is so much easier than it ever was before. So the really stupid people can do it.
There is actually something that's being thrown around in the psychological community called Internet Asperger's syndrome.
I can understand that.
You're not totally off on that idea. Because people go online and they just lose their social acceptable filter.
Yep, they lose their fucking minds. They say, "Oh, you blah 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 blah," and they get really hypocritical too. But I kind of I build into that. You know what I'm saying? I do that intentionally. I talk about how I'm always the middle ground. I don't take sides. But then I'll say like, yeah, but except when it comes to Sega, like I'm not a fanboy, except when it comes to Sega, but I totally keep doing it.
I can't say I'm always on the middle ground. I have several issues that I'm completely sure of my position on.
Right. I do not care about Coke or Pepsi. But fuck you, Coke.
I hate Donald Trump, and I do not support gun regulation.
Hey, I may have to bite the bullet and accept Donald Trump as president of the United States of America.
I have a terrible imbalance on my political views. Some things I'm very conservative, some things I'm apparently very liberal. Gun control, I don't believe in. I don't think it would work. Illegal shit in this country is already easy enough to get. Guns will be no different.
Right.
But I'm also pro-choice and pro-gay rights, and yeah. I'm mostly for anything that doesn't directly affect my life.
Why shouldn't gays get married?
Exactly. But I'm a gun enthusiast, so I can't support gun regulation because that will restrict the kinds of guns I can play with.
Right.
I recently found out it's legal to own 20mm grenade rounds in certain states.
Rounds?
Yeah.
Well, sure. You need that shit.
The shit you fire out of a grenade launcher. And I've always wanted to shoot a grenade launcher.
Yeah. Oh, dude. This guy who makes games for me, he actually sent me some games.
Mm-hmm.
He made a Super Nintendo cartridge that has 2 games on it. Because he can make those repro carts. And I'm like, that's a cool idea. You know?
I saw the website too. He's advertising for you.
Yep. And I'm advertising for him because I just did a video about his Mega Man game. And somebody actually wrote that he was like, oh, he made like Splatterhouse, a new Splatterhouse. He's like, can't do that. That's a reproduction cartridge. I'm like, what do you mean? Can't do that.
I'm considering buying one of his upgraded Sega Nomads.
Yeah, I got one. The screen is beautiful.
Is it? Okay, well then I'm sold.
Yeah.
I always wanted a Sega Nomad when I was a little kid.
Yeah, I was really impressed by the screen because I had the original, and it's when stuff moves, it gets all fuzzy.
Yeah.
So I would play games where you're big, but this you can play any of the games. The screen looks great.
The Game Gear didn't have that great of a screen either.
But the Nomad goes out to the TV. You get the plug it in the TV too. So it's like having the thing in your hand.
I want to know something about the Game Gear. Will the TV accessory still work?
I got the customized one through his website that works for the TV.
No, I mean the receptor that you could plug into a Game Gear and watch TV.
No, because it all went digital. And still analog.
Like, are local access channels still a thing?
No. You can't watch anything on the antenna TV. No, that don't work at all.
I wonder if there's anything preventing local access television, like a law or anything.
But there is some way of accessing something else, I think. I mean, like you can watch, I don't know, maybe you could, there's some, because it can pick up a TV signal, you could do something. I don't know, it's retarded though. It's dumb.
I'm just saying it'd be interesting if people started doing local access TV again.
You could do that because there's no restrictions on it. FCC doesn't care about that anymore.
Oh, really? I should buy an antenna.
The new ham radio is actual broadcast television.
I'll do my own joy of painting. I'll teach people how to paint the nightmares that I paint.
There you go. Painting nightmares.
I did one painting that ended up turning out horrifying.
Oh, yeah?
It looks like fucking Psycho Mantis in the middle of a brain surgery.
Have you seen Kevorkian's paintings?
Kevorkian did paintings?
Yeah.
Oh my god. For the youngins who are watching, Dr. Kevorkian is Dr. Death.
Yes, and he did some of the creepiest paintings.
He kind of revolutionized the idea of assisted suicide.
Yep. Brought the guillotine back into popularity.
A still hotly debated issue.
Yep. He was a pioneer. Pioneer of death.
Pioneer of death, yes.
But yeah.
That reminds me of an episode of The Critic where
I remember that show.
his boss, the guy that Charles Napier voiced, he got some kind of a disease and he goes to Dr. Death to fucking kill himself, but he decides not to, and he's like, I've never lost a patient before. You could still hit him in the parking lot to the Deathmobile. And the Deathmobile is like this car that's, it's all fucked up because he's hit so many people with it and they try to run him over and it just falls to pieces. I loved The Critic. I'm sad that show didn't last longer.
Well, I think a lot of those guys might have gone on to work on Family Guy or something. You know what I mean?
They went on to work on The Simpsons and Futurama.
Well, they came from that show, too.
True.
You know, and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
The parodies of movies in it were really funny. Anthony Hopkins in Honey, I Ate the Kids.
Hold on a second. Oh,
Here. Thank you. Thank you.
Give me your card.
It's in my coat. Hold on.
Alright. Shut up.
In the middle of a podcast.
How are you? Hello!
It's, where the fuck is my
There you go. I ruined it for you guys.
Yes, you did.
Have a good night.
Good night.
no, it's fine. I was doing something over there. That's funny. You got something happening. I got something happening. Synchronized
Hello?
stuff.
Hello?
Yeah. Hey.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, synchronized stuff happening. Something was happening when you had stuff happening. Synchronized stuff happening. There was stuff going on my end too. It was hilarious.
Oh. It's because I unplugged my headphones, but it didn't do anything on my end. I didn't hear anything.
Oh, well, I muted my end, so whoever was watching was just like, oh, a little break, I guess. Well, yeah. This is the last of my stuff. Well, I got some hash too, but I don't know.
We're live, dude.
That's fine. Everybody knows. I live in the woods. I live in the woods. In the cyborg woods, because I'm a cyborg bear. Yeah.
That
People
reminds me
think
of
I'm a cyborg. People think I'm a cyborg.
Oh, they got a black dude to play Roland in the Dark Tower movie. That weirds me out.
What? A black guy?
Yeah. Yeah. That
Yeah.
just seems so weird to me because Roland is basically modeled after Clint Eastwood.
Oh, you know what that means.
Clint Eastwood's gonna be pissed.
No, it means that they're going to redo The Good and the Bad and the Ugly with a black guy.
How about Black Hermione? Did you hear about Black Hermione?
I did hear about that. What's that about?
Well, let me go put that milk I just got in the fridge, and I will come back,
All right.
and I'll tell you about Black Hermione.
I will amuse the audience for a minute with a tune. Yeah, I wrote that myself. It's a song. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, do 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 do. Do 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 do. What's going on? Darth Vader's going to get you. Darth Vader itchy. We have to talk about that. Well, while he's gone, you know, who's watching the show? Anybody chatting? Chat, somebody. Who's ever watching chat something? Type something. Type a chat. Chatty, chat, chat. No one's watching live. Maybe, hopefully, if you're watching at home and it's not live anymore, write a comment. Come on, do it. I will respond to the comments.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah. Okay.
the Harry Potter story is continuing in a play, I guess, called Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
The Cursed Child.
Yes, it's going to take place when Harry's like an adult. It's going to be about him and his kid. But they've cast a black woman to play Hermione.
Okay, I'll buy that for $1.
And people are pissed off. And J.K. Rowling is like, I'm all in favor of Black Hermione. And people have taken that as Hermione was always supposed to be black. Because she never specifically said that she was white.
Sure. No.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
But J.K. Rowling has drawn concept art herself, and Hermione was white. So
Okay.
Hermione is white. But I've heard stupid arguments being made on this. Like somebody said, she never said that Cho Chang was Asian either. Like,
Right.
her name is Chang. Cho Chang.
Well, how about this? Okay. Danny Boyle, you know him, right?
Maybe. Yes. Yes.
He directed a play in London, a version of Frankenstein, right?
Wait. I don't know who Danny Boyle is. I was thinking of Peter Boyle.
28 Days Later.
Oh.
Who wants to be a millionaire? Slumdog.
Yeah.
What slumdog wants to be a millionaire?
Yeah, something like that.
How many slumdogs does it take to be a millionaire?
Just one.
So he directed a play of Frankenstein, and he had two cast members. One is Frankenstein, one is the monster, and he had them switch each night.
Really?
Yep.
Hmm.
I don't know how it went. That's what I heard. I was like, well, that sounds interesting.
I don't know. Some people are really, really, really bugged when they do a different idea with the casting than conventional, but I'm fine with it. Peter Dinklage played a character that wasn't a midget in Days of Future Past, and he did fine.
Well, and well, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, not John Lithgow, John Malkovich. Yeah, there you go. John Malkovich did a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, where on stage, where they swore the performance was two different actors.
Really?
Yep. At the Steppenwolf Theater in Chicago, right? And he did a performance where people swore there were two different actors. It was the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. But it was all John Malkovich, right? And this was Chicago Theater, right? Gary Sinise. Gary Sinise came from the Steppenwolf Theater. You know him. He's Captain
Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan. He's great. And he really had a transformation in that movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was that kind of thing. Gary Sinise said that when he acted at the Steppenwolf Theater, he would run around the block a couple times and then burst into the theater all out of breath at the beginning of his scene with stuff. It's just that kind of acting, you know what I'm saying? That kind of raw stuff. Yep, Gary Sinise. He's cool. Whenever I see,
I'm not big on plays.
yeah, me neither. So I never saw any of this stuff, but I read about it. I was like, cool.
To be fair, I've never seen a professional play done before.
Yeah, I don't want to. That whole thing's gotten perverted like everything else, because now these spam a lot. There's this Spider-Man musical. There's Shrek on stage. Like, Shrek. Yeah, this guy with makeup looking like Shrek. Big animatronic donkey. And, you know, what do you see on stage now? Frozen and How to Train Your Dragon and shit. It's sick. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see Wicked. What's that? It's Wizard of Oz. It's all branded shit now.
Wicked is Wizard of Oz?
Yep. She's the Wicked Witch of the West. She's the Wicked Witch of the West.
I didn't know that.
She's kind of a feminist, like, lesbian interpretation. She's made out to be the hero. You know why? Because she's trying to save the endangered flying monkeys.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of feminists pissed off at the way Disney did the Oz the Great and Powerful with Mila Kunis and James Franco.
Why? Because they've never seen the Wizard of Oz before?
No, because they didn't like the way the Wicked Witch was portrayed as a villain and not a sympathetic heroine, you know.
The Wicked Witch is the Wicked Witch. She's not supposed to be sympathetic.
I kind of don't like the way the movie goes, though, either, because she likes James Franco, and she but then he spurs her affection, so then she goes to her sister and gets turned green to become more powerful.
I'm not defending Mila Kunis. Mila Kunis was terrible in that movie.
Yeah, that was, but it's stupid. That movie was stupid. That movie was pointless.
It wasn't very good, but it wasn't unwatchable. It had a couple good moments.
It wasn't really the Wizard of Oz. It was just like he's the Wizard of Oz.
I was thinking more Mario World when I watched it. No, really, it looked like Mario World.
Could you see that happening? Honestly,
a Mario movie, like a real one. Yeah, I could.
Except this time they get Jack Black to play Mario.
No, it would not a live action movie. No, that would never work.
Pixar
could do it.
Yeah, when Disney buys Nintendo in 2020.
Disney will never be able to afford Nintendo.
Oh yeah, they will. They buy Hasbro, they buy Lego, they buy Kellogg's, right?
I don't think the executives at Nintendo would be willing to give it up. Ever.
And then they buy Nintendo, right? And so then we'll get like Lego, Iron Man, Avengers, but instead of he's Tony the Tiger Iron Man. Right.
Imagine the movies that would come out if they bought DC.
Mm-hmm. But they don't even need to. Like, fuck that. They don't need their superhero roster. You know what I'm saying? You got so many characters to choose from in Marvel.
Yeah, but you don't have Superman and you don't have Batman.
But DC is not going to be able to sell their Aquaman the way they think. They're not going to be able to sell the Wonder Woman the way they think they're going to.
No, they're not.
I don't care how they package that. It's like it's a Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah, no matter how cool they try to make it, I don't like Wonder Woman. I don't like Aquaman.
The Flash is limited appeal. limited.
I like the Flash, but I don't expect many people to like him or even know anything about him. I don't know much about him.
Right.
I think he's the
There's
one.
much to know.
He's from Edge City, isn't he?
He's got no. He's got his own like Central City or something like that. Delta City.
Then who the fuck is from Edge City?
You're thinking of the Mask. That's the city in the Mask.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mask a DC property.
Mask is like one of those independents, like Judge Dredd or Ninja Turtles.
Oh, I figured with the naming scheme, it was probably DC.
Well, somebody's got to scoop up all those things because there's a lot of independent comics that are worth something. You know, who owns the Shadow? Who owns the Phantom? You know,
the Phantom isn't worth jack shit.
It is in Australia. They love the Phantom in Australia. Basically, because that Billy D. Williams movie. I mean Billy. Oh, what's his name?
I know who you're talking about.
Right. The guy. Yeah, that guy.
Titanic guy.
Something Billy.
Yeah,
Zane.
it is. Billy Zane.
Billy Zane. Yeah. He was a movie called Dead Calm with Nicole Kidman. He's on a boat with her, and he's like killer and stuff. Dead Calm. Big hit in Australia. He's a big star in Australia.
Well, good for him.
And
proof that the Australians have no taste.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Zane is an atrocious actor.
Mm-hmm. He's a big star in Australia.
The Phantom. The Phantom is so silly looking.
Yes, he is.
He
very old world. Very old fashioned.
There's really just no way to make him look cool in a real world perspective.
Well, they're going to try again with Zorro, right? This time they're going Mad Max Zorro.
Well, Zorro looks cool regardless. He's a dude in a mystery man outfit with a rapier.
Right, but will Mad Max Zorro have his hat?
And hey, what do you mean trying again? The first Zorro movie was awesome.
It was, but they didn't make a good Zorro sequel.
No, I didn't hear much about that movie.
It was more of the same, and it just didn't sell. You can't do more of the same in your sequel.
Not that long after the fact. No, you can't. Because they made that quite a while later.
But Antonio Banderas is still the best Zorro ever.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, he did better with, rather than Zorro 2, he kind of made that cat in the Shrek movie, Zorro.
Puss in Boots.
Yes, very much played him like Zorro, and I thought that was great.
I'm only just now connecting all the Zorro jokes in Puss in Boots. I'd totally never even thought of that before.
Well, I mean, the connection to Batman with Zorro is right there. I mean, even in The Dark Knight Rises, there were connections to Zorro. You know what I mean? Because he was
Zorro. Aren't Zorro and Batman essentially the same character?
Yep. Really, within creation, they were like 10 years apart. Zorro was created in 1919, and Batman is created in 33 or something.
The only real difference is that Zorro is Mexican.
Right, but in 1919 or so, within a few years, the Errol Flynn movie came out. And Silent Zorro was leaping around doing parkour before parkour, right?
Did you ever hear about a theory that Errol Flynn was a Nazi?
Yeah, sure.
A Nazi spy.
They play that up in like The Rocketeer.
They do. That's who Neville Sinclair is based on.
Mm-hmm. But in the silent era, there was always two. It wasn't just Charlie Chaplin was weird. He was just Charlie Chaplin. But there was Douglas Fairbanks and Errol Flynn. It was Buster Keaton and what was the other guy? Harold Lloyd. You know?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of guys.
I only realized just the other day that I have actually seen a movie with Peter Lorre in it. I know who he is, but I thought I had never seen a movie of his. I didn't realize that was him in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
There you go. There you go.
He's a lot heavier than I'm used to seeing him
Yeah.
in pictures, at least. But I love his voice. I remember when I was a little kid, all the cartoons would have jokes about him
Mm-hmm.
because he had that way of speaking. He's the same voice that Ren from Ren and Stimpy is based on.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
And the lamp, the evil lamp in the Brave Little Toaster is him.
Right.
Actually, that whole sequence is about old horror movie stars. The whole song, the song they sing is about them. Like, they sing about Vincent Price and, who's the guy who played the mummy and the Frankenstein monster?
Boris Karloff.
Boris Karloff. I think they mentioned him in the song.
Yeah. And he's a black and white TV character, too.
Yeah.
He would like the car commercial, and he could jump around from scene to scene and stuff. He was trying to tell them to go to the garbage dump to find where the toaster had been taken.
Yeah.
I love that movie. Love that movie. And you know who's responsible for that, right?
Little Toaster?
Yeah.
Disney?
Nope. It was outside of Disney, but it was Brad Bird.
Remind me who he is.
Brad Bird. He did the Iron Giant.
Okay.
He did the Incredibles. And now he's trying to break into feature films. He did Tomorrowland, which everybody said is good, but nobody went to see. It was a huge flop.
Brave Little Toaster is one of the more disturbing children's movies I've ever watched.
Well, have you seen Iron Giant?
No.
Iron Giant will fucking... Oh, my God. But Brave Little Toaster has some weird dream sequence, you mean?
Well, yeah, there's that. The Nightmare Fireman Clown. That was crazy as a kid. It looked like Sweet Tooth.
Yeah.
From Twisted Metal. But there's a scene where, like, Toaster is being rubbed up on by this fucking flower, and then he walks away. He runs away from it. He turns around, he looks back at the flower, and it fucking dies.
Yep.
And
well, that scene gets cut out sometimes in certain versions.
Really?
Because in some versions he just goes through the wooded path and comes out the other side. Leaves that part out.
The air conditioner has a mental breakdown and basically self-destructs.
Right.
Like, he has a full-on psychotic episode. And the whole scene in the junkyard is fucked up.
Yeah, that musical number.
From the moment they arrive in the junkyard to the moment they leave, that whole scene is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
First, you get that extremely depressing song, Worthless, where they're all lamenting their lives before being destroyed, and one of the cars actually drives himself onto the crusher line.
And that musical number gets cut out in TV edits.
That's bullshit.
They basically instead they drive up and then they show the sequence where he's on the track and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
And then there's the scene where the master is on the crusher line, and like that magnet thing is just hell bent on killing the heroes of the story.
Yeah, and the guys in Toy Story actually said they were influenced by that for Toy Story 3.
I can see that. I mean the incinerator scene, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. But let me think. Is there? Lampy sacrificing himself for the group getting hit by lightning.
Oh yeah, that was John. Yeah, that's the ticket. The critic.
John Lovitz. He was the radio.
Right, John Lovitz. He's great. There's so many Johns. I kept trying to say John Lithgow again.
Toaster, Kirby, and Lampy all have a suicidally brave hero moment.
Yeah, they do.
Lampy sacrifices himself to be struck by lightning. Kirby throws himself off a waterfall to save everybody, and Toaster jams himself into the gears of a car crusher.
Wait, doesn't the radio do something too?
He tries his goddamnedest to pull everybody out of a sinkhole. He ends up saving everybody basically by extending his antenna, and the fat dude who runs the junk
And playing
shop.
playing the radio basically attracted them. Being
Oh
loud.
yeah. He says, "I thought I heard a radio."
Oh, that scene was scary too. In the repair shop.
He's disassembling things in front of them, and then they show like his broken body dripping oil.
Toy Story borrowed a lot from Brave Little Toaster. You know what I mean?
To anybody who's never seen the movie that would see this, that we're making it sound like a horror movie.
It kind of is.
And
right?
It's a little kids movie, but it's like kids movies used to treat their audience with a lot more respect.
But you know, there's a straight to video sequel. Okay, do you know that?
Yes.
And what is it?
The Toaster Goes to Mars.
What the fuck?
Yes.
I kind of want to see it just because of the title. And I'm like, how does that happen?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious myself how we got on Mars.
I'm kind of curious. But, you know, that's the only reason. How did he go to Mars?
It would be weird enough if it was any character, but the fact that he's a fucking appliance.
Right. I mean, the way they set up in the first movie, I don't see how they go to Mars.
Maybe the master was going to college to be like a rocket scientist.
Right. And they get trapped on a space pod.
Yeah. It's the only thing I can think of, because he was going to college, and they portray him as a really brainy guy.
He's a nerdy kid, right? He's very nerdy.
Nerdy with a hot girlfriend.
Yeah, remember, what was that about?
Yeah. that was before it was cool to have a nerd with a hot girlfriend. They were just like, nah, he's got a girlfriend, and she's good looking. She's got a great car.
Right, yeah. It's like that's fine. Yeah, I had no problem with that. I was like, whoa, she's a hot girlfriend. I work with that.
Seriously, anybody who's watching, though, check out The Brave Little Toaster. You won't be disappointed in the movie.
If you like the Toy Story, you know, and you like the Iron Giant and Incredibles.
I've never really thought about the parallels between Toy Story and Brave Little Toaster, but you're right.
Right, there's another one though.
That is a really similar concept.
There's a Jim Henson movie about toys on Christmas as well, called like the Christmas Toy Tale or something like that. You know, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is similar to Toy Story. In the story, there's like a stuffed tiger who is under the impression, because last year he was a Christmas gift, and she was so happy to see him that every year he's gonna get in a box and she'll open it up and be happy to see him again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to sneak in a box under the Christmas tree. But in that is the idea that they all freeze if anybody shows up, right? Just like in the Toy Story, and him sneaking around the house at night. Then he finds the box, and in it is this like She-Ra figure who is under the impression that she is She-Ra, and she's bow before me or something like that. Kind of like what Buzz Lightyear does, where he's still under the impression he's the toy, you know. But there's a darker element of that, is that if you get caught moving by people, you're supposed to freeze. But if you get caught moving, or if you're in a different position, you're dead. You don't move anymore at all.
You have managed to crack open a memory egg that was holding something long forgotten. Let's see if you remember this fucking attempt. The Indian in the cupboard.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember
I
the
rem-
book.
I
Right.
remember only wanting that. I never got the movie, but I never saw the movie. But I remember wanting the video strictly because when I was a little kid, I still really like skeleton keys. And the movie came with an Indian figurine and a skeleton key for a cupboard.
Yeah, so you haven't seen the movie?
No, I remember the trailer though and thinking, oh my god, I want to see that because I see a little Darth Vader toy that came to life, and he's like fighting with his lightsaber.
That is the selling point of the movie, but that's a very tiny part of the film.
And I remember it was a big deal for a minute, and then nobody ever spoke of the movie again. Kind of like The Page Master. That was another movie that was hailed when it came out for having amazing animation.
Right.
And
Well, it's debatable.
not throughout the whole movie. The thing that people made a big deal about was the dragon.
In the Page
Oh.
Master?
Yeah, the whole budget pretty much went into that dragon scene, and it shows. The dragon is really cool. But nobody remembers that movie. It's the forgotten Macaulay Culkin movie.
I remember the Page Master, but I remember that Patrick Stewart was the voice of one of the books.
Yes, he was the adventure book.
There's a pirate book, and then there was like
The pirate book was adventure. The fairy godmother one was fantasy, and the Igor looking one was horror.
I think it's on. Okay, there's a Page Master on the Game Boy, and I think there's one on the Super Nintendo.
Yep.
But when I look up the Page Master on Amazon, Indian in the Cupboard and Brave Little Toaster pop up.
Really?
Yeah, and then a family features collection which includes The Sandlot, The Rookie, and Troll in Central Park. But it's weird that those come up as well. Brave Little
Yes.
Toaster and Indian in the Cupboard.
It's listening to you. That's that
Yeah.
Google algorithm we keep hearing about.
But I know it's on the Super Nintendo. It's not popping up. Hold on a second. I'll pop an SNES. I want to see what it's going for. SNES. Yeah. How much? $2.
Damn.
Nothing. Yeah, $2. Yeah, that's valuable. I wonder if
I
it's
would
any
like
fun.
to get I'm thinking about going and getting some of those bulk deals on old games where people are just selling the box of shit that they have.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just get a bunch of random games just to have them.
Well, that's why I keep recommending Sega, because it's cheap and they're pretty easy to come by. I always run into those games at thrift stores. Not other stuff though. You know, say like PlayStation, but the CD. Well, it is really cheap to collect for PlayStation right now. It's fucking ridiculous. The core system you can get for $10, easy.
PlayStation?
Yeah, the original.
Wow.
The gray unit, $10, easy.
That thing had the loudest CD scanner.
It does. It's very loud. And the graphics will surprise you just how bad they were.
Oh no, they won't, because I use emulators all the time. I remember strongly.
I was looking at the polygons. So many polygons. Or so few, really, actually, yeah.
The PlayStation's selling point was really that it could play games that usually would only work on a computer. It didn't run them as good, but it was close enough. Like Tomb Raider. You ever tried to play fucking Tomb Raider with a keyboard?
No, I was just playing Tomb Raider, and you walk in the cave, and she would spin around, and the pixels in the polygons were just so distorted. You know,
Yeah.
just like it was like, I'm like, wow, the ground doesn't even look flat.
Tomb Raider had really bad graphics, the original one.
Yeah, the first one. That's when I got.
Even on computer, it's ridiculously ugly.
I got a lot of PlayStation games, which I'm not even sure how to approach. Right. I got the Celebrity Deathmatch game.
I never
on
got to
PlayStation.
play that.
But guess the celebrities that they had.
Marilyn Manson for sure.
Yes. Yes.
Possibly Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No, it's not in the game.
No.
But it does have those main characters, the referee guy, the bald guy.
Okay, so Mariah Carey.
No.
No, I'm not gonna be able to guess. There's
Okay, well, it had is this black guy on the cover, which at first I was like, Coolio, right? And I'm like, no, it's Busta Rhymes. Like, oh, okay, well, and Mr. T, and Marilyn Manson, and then some white guy. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Tommy Lee. Oh, okay, Tommy Lee.
Yeah.
And Carmen Electra. And that's it. Five
That's
celebrities.
it?
Right. But they also count like Frankenstein and like a Dracula and an alien. One-eyed alien, I guess that's a celebrity. What?
Something probably went wrong with the licensing while they were developing it.
I have a hard time approaching that. Is like I could make a video out of that. I'm like, yeah, that's. Yeah.
Maybe as part of like a forgotten PlayStation games compilation.
I guess maybe
Because there's a lot of games on PlayStation, a lot, and not all of them are remembered. In fact, I can name quite a few games that nobody remembers.
Well, yeah, because there's just so many. PlayStation is.
I'll name 5 right now: Tunnel B1, Gex, Blast Chamber, Intelligent Cube, and Tobal number 2.
I know Gex.
Really? You remember Gex?
I remember Gex because it was on the 3DO.
Gex was the Geico Gecko before the Geico Gecko was the Geico Gecko.
Yeah, and he was also featured in like a golfing game.
Oh my God! Did I tell you that I found out one of my favorite games as a child? I found out starred Kirk Cameron.
I did not know that.
I got a Saturn emulator to work finally, but sadly it won't run the Horde, the game itself. You try to run the game, it's all flickery and the controls don't fucking work.
Oh, Kirk Cameron's in the Horde?
Yes, it did load the opening scene, and it said starring Kirk Cameron. I'm like, Kirk Cameron is in this game? And the opening scene started playing. I'm like, oh my God, I am playing as Kirk Cameron in this game.
That's why you didn't remember.
Yeah. I didn't know who Kirk Cameron was when I was a little kid.
Well, there's no reason you should have, because Growing
there
Pains
isn't.
wasn't on the air anymore.
I watched one sitcom like that when I was a kid. One. Family Matters. That's it.
I did not watch Family Matters.
I watched Family Matters. That's all. I liked Urkel and I liked Carl.
I watched Cheers, and I would watch Seinfeld.
No. I mean like family, everybody in the room, even little kids sitcom.
Oh, well, I mean,
ones that didn't have a lot of sex jokes and stuff. You know, ABC Family stuff.
well, I didn't watch those TGIF. I would shy away from that. Get away, TGIF. Crazy.
Family Matters is the only one I liked. Mostly because when I was a kid, I liked science stuff, and Urkel always had crazy science stuff.
Well, all the shows. I mean, Step by Step, Sister, Full House. What was the other one? For a while was.
I forgot about Sister and Step by Step.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a few episodes of Step by Step. That show's the only reason I know who the guy from Dallas. What's his name?
Yeah, that guy Duffy.
Duffy. Yeah, Patrick Duffy. That show's the only reason I know who Patrick Duffy is. And Sister, those two girls became like evangelical Christians.
Yep. Crazy.
And then they completely faded into obscurity.
Because they're nuts.
Yeah, I don't remember their names. Wait, yes I do. Tia and Tamara.
Tia and Tamara.
Something.
Today and tomorrow. Do you remember this? When I was a kid, I had a joke. It's funny, right? There was a Mexican kid lived across the street. His name was Always, right?
His name was what?
Always,
Always.
right? So, and he had two little brothers. Didn't know what the names were, right?
Uh,
No, I know what the names were, and I had a joke. There's always two little brothers. One's named Forever, and the other one's All the Time. Yeah.
One
Hear
of
about
the weird.
Hear about the Mexican guy that went to the baseball game? And he was like, "Oh yeah, they were really nice there at the baseball game. You know, when they stood up for the national anthem, they were still really kind and said, 'Jose, can you see?'" Yeah.
Did you see that thing where the Canadians sang the American national anthem because like the speakers cut out or something?
I did see that.
It was at like a hockey game, I think.
I saw it on a video that was talking about Illuminati conspiracy.
What?
Yeah, it cut out because of the because it was a protest. They were trying to prevent it from happening.
Prevent what from happening?
Prevent the national anthem from being sung.
Why?
Because they cut it out.
But why would they want to cut out the national anthem?
Illuminati conspiracy?
but according to every Illuminati conspiracy theory I've ever heard, America is basically the brainchild of the Illuminati.
Right, but somehow they were trying to prevent that from happening.
Whatever. And they didn't count on Canadian politeness.
Right.
Now, personally, I think it's really cool that they did that, but I saw people taking offense to it.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Why
They thought it was disrespectful that Canadians were singing our national anthem.
Right. They should have just sat there politely and waited for them to get the music back on.
I thought it was nice of them. I thought we should have sang "Oh Canada" back to them.
I don't know. What do we normally do if that happens in America? We all start booing. That's what we start doing, and we all start applauding, like, "Yay! We don't have to sit through this shit." Right.
Oh, you mean "Oh Canada"?
No. If the anthem breaks down or something goes wrong.
Oh.
Typically, they boo and cheer and make some noise, and then we just go on with the game.
WWE has been making people boo other nations' national anthems since the 80s.
We love it.
They use that a lot. The Russian national anthem, they've made crowds boo the shit out of that several times. I'm sure the Russians just love us.
There was some chanting of USA, USA at a Trump rally. And it was like, what the fuck's going on? And guess what? Trump joined in.
Oh, my God.
He was like, USA, USA. I'm like, yep, there's that wrestling coming through.
I am curious if Vince is going to let him campaign on Raw this year.
He was already on SNL.
Yeah, but is he going to be on Raw?
I don't know. He doesn't have to.
They let Hillary and Barack Obama and John McCain on there.
Yeah, but he's done SNL. That's pretty good.
Barack Obama, I think, actually said, "If you smell what Barack is cooking."
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what's he going to say this time?
I think Hillary made a pun. Maybe I'm mixing this up with another show. I swear I saw them all do a short little thing on wrestling, though. It's hard to sort out all the bullshit in wrestling. Like, some of it seems like a fever dream thinking back on it.
Kind of is.
A lot of stuff in recent memory seems like a fever dream. Fucking the moment the crowd finally got on Roman Reigns' side, they were like, quick, put the belt on him. They did a title change on Monday Night Raw. I can't remember the last time that happened.
For what?
What do you mean for what?
Title change. What do you mean title change?
The fucking heavyweight title switched hands on Monday Night Raw.
Oh.
Roman Reigns punched Vince McMahon in the face. Vince didn't move for about 5 minutes. Nobody was checking on him either. I checked Spoonie's Twitter because I thought he's going to make a lot of jokes about this. And he's like, is anyone going to check on Vince? He hasn't moved for like 5 minutes. And he beats Sheamus and wins the title. And I'm like, oh my God, this really just happened.
So he's been active on the Twitter again?
Oh, he's never stopped being active on Twitter. That's all he does is Twitter and live streams.
Yeah. That's all he does now, which is unfortunate.
I swear to God, his live streams are a giant fuck you to everyone on his Patreon.
Well, and I tuned in for one, right? And I started chatting.
That.
Oh,
he called you out.
Oh, really?
He's like, yes, Teddy, I did just ban him because that person he just banned was me.
No, I mean, more recently than that, I hopped on there and started chatting. He was playing that same card game.
Oh God, really?
And so I was on there. I was like, Force Awakens? ? Force Awakens ? And then other people started chatting on there. It was like, don't bother him about it. He probably hated it, right? And then is a Force Awakens ? Right?
And then he got pissed off because everybody assumed he hated it.
No, he's like, then after a while, it's just like, no, I actually like that movie.
Oh, wow.
And then slowly, because he wasn't talking at all, he started hopping on there. He's like, no, I thought it was good. And then he started talking. I was like, whoo-hoo, he's talking. I made this happen. Mwahaha. And then he started talking to some other guy who didn't like it and had some reason. And so he was mostly addressing some other guy. I don't know who the fuck he was. But everything was directed towards him, right?
That's
yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised he liked it. It's Spoonie, you know.
Yeah, I know.
He doesn't like anything.
Right. Well, I mean, he hasn't even done a vlog video about movies at all. What?
No, he hasn't. He just fucking quit doing everything.
Everything, and his Patreon is dropping like a rock.
He did do a live Counter Monkey recently, 2 of them, that were both very entertaining.
Well, he did a video with his girlfriend who was just sitting there, not saying anything, not really contributing to what he was talking about. I don't know why she was there.
The wrestle.
Yeah, I watched some of that, and I'm just like, why is she there? What's going on? And I look at his space behind him, and I'm like, it's this wall, and he's got a couple shelves there with a couple of his stuff on there. It looks like a whittled down collection of some of his stuff that she lets him have.
Whittled down? Are you kidding me? His collection is getting bigger and bigger all the time.
Right, but in this little corner, in this little room that they have set up to do this little
Watch his Counter Monkey videos. He's got quite a setup now.
And I'm just reminded because I've been watching the Drunken Peasants, and recently there's this guy named Paul's Ego who's on there all the time. Little window, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's now got a girlfriend who's just a second head that's just floating there right behind him in another chair. And like, hey, he's got a second head now. And in the last, 3 or 4 videos he's been there talking, she doesn't say anything. She's just there. And he's wearing sunglasses and she's wearing sunglasses. You can't even see any expressions on her face or where she's looking. It's just a second head. It's such a tiny little window. Why is his girlfriend there? She can watch the show anywhere.
Spoonie's girlfriend is there because she watches the movies and the wrestling with him.
She does watch the wrestling.
She
does pay
talks
attention.
occasionally. It's just that Spoonie talks more.
This chick doesn't say anything at all. I don't know what she's doing there.
But the two counter monkeys he did were funny as fuck. One of them was about a role-playing game that's based on the Bible, which I plan on buying soon.
I saw that.
Buy it and I'm going to play it. And the other one was about like a character he had that was based on Kevin Sorbo.
I watched the Bible video. I was watching it for a good long time, and then I started taking a nap. And at some point, I fell asleep during the video. He was talking about the Bible game.
It was pretty long.
It was very long, and there was plenty of people talking in the audience that you couldn't really make out. But he was kind of repeating the questions. They'd be like, "Can you use holy water?" You know, like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, eventually they started throwing out things like people from the Bible, like, are there stats for Jesus?
Right. I remember that. He was like looking up. He's like, okay, Goliath. That's no. He's not David. Now that's interesting. Look at his charisma. like, okay, Moses has an unbreakable staff, cannot be broken. Well, just think about what you can do with that. That's pretty powerful. You know, it could turn into a serpent. Yep, it can turn into a serpent.
His counter monkey videos are really only entertaining for people who play RPGs regularly.
Right.
I say this as I have my arm resting on the D&D 3rd edition player.
Well, yeah. What else did he say? He was like, Moses qualifies as a paladin?
Yeah.
Paladin? I don't remember any paladins just giving people plagues.
It's justice. It's justice on these evil heathens.
Sure. Paladin.
Everything in the Old Testament is justified by, well, they were worshiping the wrong God.
No. There is only one God, the one true God.
My kitten came up and decided to be cute. Hey, kitty.
Yeah. Oh.
This cat is possibly part Maine Coon, which means she's eventually going to be fucking huge. She's got the ears of one, and she's getting very big very quick.
Yeah.
She's really long-haired.
I got one black cat. She's an old cat. And she's doing just fine. Aren't you?
I got 2 gray cats.
Oh, you got 2 now, huh? One.
I got the one I had, and then I got this other little kitten because she was cute and I wanted her.
Well, then you want to have the Three Stooges, right?
I'm not getting.
Then you get the Three Stooges, and then they're like, well, okay, now I have 3, but then you want to get a 6-pack.
I'm not getting another cat.
Then you got 6 cats, and you're like, yay, 6 cats, yay!
These 2 stink enough as it is.
Right. And then they're full size, and you're like, you know what? There's a little kitten I want to get. Yeah. It keeps growing. I just got the one. Just the one. How you doing? Yeah. She's as big as she's gonna get.
This kitten, I don't know how big she's gonna get, but if she is a Maine kitten, she's gonna be fucking enormous.
Well, they're both kittens, right? You're gonna notice one get bigger than the other, right?
The one is fully grown now.
Oh, okay.
She's always gonna be a small cat, though. She was a runt.
I had 2 cats, and they couldn't tell which one was bigger. They kept getting bigger, and I'm like, which one's bigger? I don't know. It would go back and forth. One's big. Oh, now the other one's bigger. No. I think this one's bigger now. But yeah. Oh, right. Best and worst movie of the year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was the topic of this
So,
podcast.
best is Force Awakens or Mad Max.
Yes, it's pretty much a tie for me between those two.
The worst, we didn't see the worst. Avoid those
Yeah.
fucking terrible movies.
Yeah, I only see movies that look good.
Yeah. I know there's plenty of terrible movies, but seriously?
Why do you people intentionally go see them?
Right.
I mean, I guess I get it from movie critics, but there are so many people out there that think they are movie critics. So they go out of their way to see these terrible fucking movies so they can talk about how terrible the movie was.
Well, I am not a professional movie critic. I'll review just stuff I want to see. That's the thing. I don't see everything.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't have the money to see everything.
And even if I did, I wouldn't really like most of the movies out there because most movies out there are made for me. You know?
If I could afford it, I would spend almost all my time at a movie theater, but that's because I love movie theaters.
Yeah, I don't even know if I gave in. I don't even know what I did. I already did my recorded my video for the best and worst, but it's on the video. I don't remember what I said. I did not mention though Gem and the Hologram.
I forgot all about that.
Which is it's one of the biggest flops of all time. The
Really?
biggest movie to open as wide as it did and do as badly as it did. Right?
Well, it deserves that.
Nobody cared. Nobody cared at all.
Well, of course nobody cared because nobody knows what the fuck Gem and the Holograms is.
And that's the main problem. Whether the core fans were happy or not, core fans don't matter. Core fans, who were the core fans? It wasn't that successful back in the day.
I have never heard of Gem and the Holograms. I don't know what era it's from. I don't know who made it. I don't know what country it's from. Because sometimes cartoons are Canadian. Is it American or is it Canadian? Is it Hanna-Barbera?
It was Hasbro.
How old is it?
It came out sometime around G.I. Joe and He-Man.
So 70s?
Early 80s with the Transformers and stuff like that.
So yeah. No kids today are going to know what the fuck that is. And all males from that time aren't going to know what that is.
No. But there are some fans out there, apparently. You know.
It blew me away when I found out what bronies were because I thought they stopped making My Little Pony when I was a little kid.
They did.
They did?
They did stop making it.
Oh, well, okay then.
I mean, the new cartoon has got a new fandom, you know, and they don't even care about the ponies from when you know, back in the day.
Bronies are weird.
It's a whole different thing. You know what I mean?
Being a fan of it, whatever. I'm a fan of Sailor Moon. I like some stupid shit too, but bronies are weird.
Well, there's a new thing going on with the Amazing Atheist. He just
no.
He did a video last week about Otherkin. Right.
Oh no.
And then this week he did a video just responding to the comments he got about the last video.
I bet they were funny as fuck because Otherkin say some weird shit.
Yeah.
Once again, for the
Hilarious,
few
yeah.
for the few viewers this podcast gets and that don't know what other kin are, Teddy, I'll let you explain it because your explanation will probably be funnier.
Well, it's a pretty wide kind of concept too. Just people who don't believe that they are people. He's a dragon guy. The most
They don't
vocal was
believe
this
they're-
guy who was a dragon.
They
Right,
don't believe that they are fully human.
Yeah, this guy, he's a dragon. And this blogger was writing a lot of shit about the Amazing Atheist. And there are the guys who think they're robots. They think they're animals. People think they're anime characters, right? And there's a debate about, how people should be treated. But other people who identify as sinister anime characters don't have to obey that because according to their own kin, they have to behave in a sinister way.
I am going to confess that my explanation was not going to include this because I was not aware of these people. I was under the impression that that other kin were people who believed they were part cat or part vampire or part werewolf. I did not realize
fictional characters and fictional.
I did not realize that it extended into robots and anime characters.
Yeah, and actual characters. You are a Super Saiyan. You know what I mean?
I am a Malkovichian.
And there was other people who were writing that if your other kin drink blood, right?
Yeah.
Then I have a great recipe for how you could make your own blood. Right?
Yeah. That okay, that's something I've heard before. The vampire people who drink blood, energy drink.
Mm-hmm.
It comes in a blood bag.
Right.
And I think it's the stuff that Brad Jones is drinking in the Caligula episode when he tosses in a Brad tries joke.
Right. So okay. Here's the funny part though. Okay. Because at the end of TJ's video last week, he said that next video I'm going to do some videos targeting particular otherkin that are particularly hilarious.
Oh man, he is opening a can of worms.
Right. So basically, in the new video, he posts that other guys like this dragon guy and another guy who's a werewolf has been going around warning other kin to close their blogs and block block their pages because TJ was on the prowl for somebody to make fun of.
Because people are about to learn that you exist. You're about to become much more visible.
Right, so he's like, oh no, and TJ's just like, oh no, Amazing Atheist is on the loose, run for the hills.
Okay, let's be
Run for your safe space, right?
let's explore something right here because I've just realized something about YouTube atheists. It's one of the reasons I don't particularly like them anymore. I used to find all the shit entertaining, but now it's all kind of just dickish to me. But they always go after Christians and Muslims. But there's so much to go after besides that. Like, why don't they ever talk about the ridiculousness of Hinduism or Wicca?
Because nobody's pushing Wicca. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's fair enough. But
there are people pushing veganism now. Veganism is getting militant.
The YouTube personalities portray them as people who go after the ridiculousness of religion. So why only target Christianity and Islam?
I don't know.
You want to talk about some ridiculous shit, look into Wicca, the religion that is literally cherry-picked out of a whole bunch of different pagan beliefs. Basically all the good stuff and none of the bad stuff.
Well, I think the best humor comes from the Rapture people. If you just do videos about Rapture people, you do great. You know what I mean? As far as an atheist blogger. But most of the atheist bloggers get into drama. And it is stupid. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
They do one video about some crazy creationist who thinks that the trees, whatever. And then they do another video and they're like, well, this crazy atheist is now targeting me, saying this and that, and it's like, okay, all right, god damn it, you know what I mean? Getting into the fucking drama. Thunderfoot, he did it too. They all fucking do it. No matter how much they're into skepticism and reason, they all get into some bullshit. Even the armored skeptic did it. The armored skeptic did it too. He was just a guy in a knight armor and he was doing things, and then he started talking. He got in some drama with, who was it? I don't know.
Forehead woman.
Yeah, something. I don't know.
I just remember a woman with a very big forehead.
Yeah, that one chick. Yeah, I don't even know.
And okay, let me think here.
I don't even know. It's just
What was
drama.
that? Oh, Thunderfoot. I keep popping in every so often to see if he's gotten off his bullshit, but no. He's still making videos about Anita Sarkeesian and shit. And I'm so over that. I unsubscribed from him a long time ago because I was just sick of hearing him complain about Anita Sarkeesian. I hate her too. But fuck's sake, man, I get it. You fucking hate her more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about science now. Fuck. I don't watch a scientist channel to hear him complain about a feminist blogger.
I don't understand how it's why I don't want to talk about that. And I think it's so obvious that it doesn't really need to be said. So I'd rather talk about Batman, Sega Genesis,
Yeah.
or Cheez-Its.
I'm over the feminism debate. I'm over the fucking atheism debate. It's just there are conspiracy theorists to argue with. That's more fun.
Yeah, I'll debate with those guys. I could do videos about that. But as far as, in the first couple Bible Man videos, I was kind of knocking Christianity. But now I'm just kind of laughing at it for what it is,
Yeah.
And I don't know if it'll come up when I do the next video. But I'm going to start doing other videos. Because I found a couple Christian videos. I found the one with Donut Man. And I found the Carmen video.
Yeah,
Right.
I told you about Carmen.
Right, but I found these other videos that I put them up for vote. And they're both doing pretty well. But it looks like the one I'm going to talk about is the Armor of Light. It's super kids. It's a team of super... I showed you that. I showed you a link to that.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Some guy's watching TV and he's got then some wacky graphics and stuff. It'll be great.
Terribly cheesy.
Yeah.
Which it always is. But I don't know. Bible Man really isn't any cheesier than like Beetleborgs, I guess.
No, not really. Not in the later episodes. Anyway. In the recent video I did, I looked up the Fibbler. Who the fuck is the Fibbler? Right.
Fiddler.
I saw this, one of the cards in the Bible Man board game had the Fibbler. He's like a yellow Joker. He's got green hair, and he's like, I'm like, I'll find out who this guy is. And it turned out to be one of the earlier episodes of Bible Man. He didn't have any of the usual stuff. It looked a lot cheaper. It was kind of creepy. It was really creepy, actually. And it was just weird. It was a very weird episode. But there was still lightsaber fights, and he was still quoting the Bible. It was very much still Bible Man, but it was more cheaply done and weird.
You should get some copies of the Archangels comic books and talk about those.
The Archangel comics?
Genuinely good animated Christian comic books about archangels.
Yeah.
Story's not that great, but the animation is really cool.
Is that X-Men?
X-Men.
Archangel?
Oh, ha, yeah. No, I don't even remember what the plot of the fucking story is. It's got something to do with this guy who survives a car crash. But there's also this evil bitch who runs a club called Club Babylon. Ha 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 ha.
Have you ever?
It features a
have you seen
it features a really odd scene where an archangel dies. I'm like, wait, what? How? Wait, what? He died. How does an angel die? Where does he go?
There's a comic about Uncle Sam. You ever seen this?
Oh Lord, no.
Yeah, it's a comic about Uncle Sam, and he's like some spirit, right? In the comic, he's like a homeless man, like wandering around, right?
Yeah.
But the truth is, he is Uncle Sam, spirit of America, and as he like wandering around, he's like talking to phantoms. People see this homeless guy on the street, but he's Uncle Sam. And it's illustrated by Alex Ross, the guy who did those really realistic looking Superman comics.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it has that really realistic thing. He's got some old man, the close-ups. You see his wrinkles. It looks like pictures. But the paintings, it's really good. Alex Ross. Wonder if he's related to Bob Ross.
I was just about to say that.
He's so good though, and each little frame is like a little painting. It's amazing. He's got, you know what I mean? He's got to have some process where he's like streamlined the whole process. And I know he does, because his mom, Alex Ross's mom, is famous. She did fashion pictures. I looked up his mom, and it just looks like 50s, right? Some woman walking around in a dress. She's at the dinner table. She was a graphic illustrator. So I'm like, oh, that's it. That's why that looks like, yeah. You know what I mean? If Alex Ross was a chick in the 50s, that's what he'd be painting. But he's not. He's here today doing comics. It's crazy.
I don't have any idea why that made me think of this, but I just remembered a story I read earlier. If people are pissed off at Scott Hall, the wrestler, because he said he wants to eat out Paige's asshole.
Sure, what's wrong with that? Nothing wrong with that.
I was surprised. I don't know. I had to bring that up.
He's just being honest.
Yeah. He was on a podcast and they asked him, if you had to give one diva a rim job, who would it be? He's like, Paige.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, well,
the goth bitch.
He had to pick one. He had to pick one, right? He had to pick one, right?
Hey, I like Paige too. I've always liked the gothic chicks.
So I don't know which one I'd go with, because I don't know what all the divas are right now.
I haven't kept up with the Vigilant Christians bullshit, but I'm sure he's freaked the fuck out about the fact that she wears a pentagram on her chest now.
He is not as vigilant as he used to be.
Really?
That's right. He has not been covering all the stuff. In fact, he didn't do a Star Wars Force Awakens video until sometime after the movie came out.
Wow.
Like, he didn't do like a trailer breakdown or anything like that. I don't know.
So how much Illuminati did he find in Star Wars?
I didn't even watch the video, but I noticed that it didn't come out until like much time after the. As far as Mark Dice, though, I wonder what's going on in the world of Mark Dice. What's his top videos right now?
Hopefully depression and suicide.
See, Black Friday, Zombie Apocalypse. Oh my God!
don't play one of his videos. I can't.
No, it just started playing on the thing.
Mark Dice actually pisses me off when he talks.
Oh, wow. 3 days ago. He hasn't posted anything in 3 days. Well, yeah, but still.
Good.
3 days
maybe
ago, 4 days ago, 5 days ago, a week ago.
I hope he's in a trunk being transported to Mexico to be beheaded by the cartels.
Who's Lana Del Rey?
Don't know.
Confirmed satanic witch.
Well, of course she is.
Mark Zuckerberg wants a new world order for his baby. Okay. War on Christmas is real. That's good. Santa is white supremacy symbol, says liberals. Of course.
What?
Oh, and then he covers, Bill Burr. Bill Burr confirms Bilderberg meeting group. Oh my God. Taylor Swift is Nazi Barbie, says feminist critic. Satanists rob pastor after he helps them.
Well,
Walmart.
that's his own fault for helping Satanists.
Okay, the one thing about Star Wars, about the MSN host that says Star Wars is racist because Darth Vader is white or he's black or whatever.
Whatever, Mark Dice, kill yourself.
He's not even saying anything relevant. Nothing about. That's weird.
Not even making a joke. If Mark Dice, if you see this, I'm not joking. I really want you to kill yourself. I'm that guy that told you you were really useless when you were stupid enough to reply to me on YouTube. You know who I am. Kill yourself. Put a gun in your mouth. Pull the trigger. Do it now. It's the only way you can save your soul.
He's now. Oh no. Mark Dice still has more subscribers. Oh, the Illuminati.
Is that Mark
tried to
Dice
shut me down.
popping in?
Okay, the Illuminati tried to shut me down, but I'm back. Okay.
Oh my God, man.
Anyway, yeah.
A part of me jolted with happiness, thinking, "Oh my God, is this somehow Mark Dice popping in?" Because I'm about to go off on him.
Yeah. What is the Vigilant Christian most recent video? Bill Cosby allegations, consequences of Illuminati. Yeah, he's Illuminati.
The Illuminati is the one who came up with these accusations, probably. Because it couldn't possibly be true.
What? Okay. Star Wars Illuminati exposed. Sure. Right. Got that. Star Wars Satanic Force of Witchcraft Awakens. Right. Got that. The most recent UFC champion, Conor McGregor. Right. He sold his soul for Satan for money and fame. Okay. But he also does now Vigilant Christian workout weight loss. Him talking about God, angels versus devil, demons, right? It's just general talking about. And then his birthday celebration and what? Hulk Hogan? Oh, Hulk Hogan says that the Illuminati's real.
Does he?
Yeah, sure he does.
I'd like to hear what the quote is.
There's a 2-part expose on Illuminati cloning, Celebrity Exposed. Eminem.
The cloning thing. Oh, man. The cloning thing is always entertaining.
Yeah. So, cloning, Celebrities Exposed. That's interesting. And also Illuminati, Twitter, NASA, HARP. I don't even know. And it goes on and on.
HARP. People are really still on about HARP.
Yep. Well, he is anyway.
Well, I got some bad news for y'all who are afraid of HARP. They're making a much more powerful and much smaller version of HARP, so now you can be worried about that.
I think. Okay, hold on. I'm not watching these videos, but I am going to open them, and I think one is him confirming, and then one is denying certain Illuminati stuff. Like,
full of people,
I think, like, false Illuminati stuff is NASA and HARP. Real Illuminati stuff is celebrity cloning. Right? Okay. Got that? Yeah.
I mean, the hard thing, yeah, okay, if you're talking pseudoscience, maybe this could work, but
Oh no, yeah, I've heard him backing off the moon landing shit. Even Alex Jones backing off the moon landing stuff. Because I was watching this thing about the
wait,
alien
really?
invasion. Right. Well, they were talking about the fake alien invasion they're going to stage, and he's talking on via satellite with some other guy who talks about aliens.
I
And
am surprised that they would back off the moon landing because of a joke in the movie Minions.
what?
As I was watching Minions, I started like, I don't know, my brain just jumped over to conspiracy theories, and they showed the Minions running through a movie studio where they were filming the moon landing.
Nice.
And I figured this movie would already attract conspiracies because the one eyes,
Mm-hmm.
because that's enough. That's enough to run with for them.
Well, I think the faking of conspiracy is part of the conspiracy now. You know what I'm saying?
So now there's conspiracies about conspiracy theorists who are leading disinformation campaigns.
That Stanley Kubrick filmed a fake moon landing, but they never used it because they really did go to the moon, but they had one as a backup, and then that became part of the theory that they did use to discredit people.
Okay, I'm willing to believe that. I'm willing to believe that we came up with a way to fake it in case we fucked up.
Right.
But I'm not willing to believe that we didn't actually land on the fucking moon.
Well, see, there's a video that popped up recently of Stanley Kubrick confessing to filming the moon landing. Right. But it doesn't
Really?
look like him. It does. He's older. His facial hair is thicker and grayer, and people are saying, "Oh, that's because he didn't die when they said he did." And then he's been alive for a few years, and this is more recent than his death. And yeah, you have to add to that conspiracy to believe that.
I recently heard that Andy Kaufman faked his death but died in the meantime.
I heard that Andy Kaufman was Donald Trump.
Yeah, I saw that one.
That would be funny if he gets
I heard-
elected and then he goes, "Ha! See, it was me the whole time." No, but the way he does it is when he goes up to be sworn in, he goes, "Here I come to save the day."
I heard that a Swiss hospital figured out a way to peel the black off a black person.
Yeah, I heard that too. That's bullshit. That's a
They'll
retard.
just peel it off as one big fucking body sock.
It's really that easy. It's really that easy.
Dude, it made me think of that scene in fucking Family Guy when all the cops go on strike and all these white people unzip and they're black people underneath. They're like, we're finally free.
It can happen. It happens all the time. that happened at the ending of The Wiz.
They were singing a song from The Wiz.
Okay, right. God damn it. You know, that show has so many references. There's a lot of people who know the Family Guy references before they know the real thing. It's just the way it goes.
Yeah, there is, but at the same time, Family Guy is pretty funny for an older person that gets the references.
Mhm.
Like, I got the Conway Twitty thing the first time because I knew who Conway Twitty was. And I was like, oh my God, are they really going to do this? And they made me watch a whole goddamn Conway Twitty video.
It still doesn't make any sense. It's just, yeah, he could do that because that's where he was with the show. I'm just going to do this. top-rated program on Fox. Fuck you.
My mood, my opinion, and everything of Family Guy changes so sporadically. I feel like I hate it sometimes, but then sometimes I watch it, I'm like, this is the funniest shit I've ever seen. Because occasionally they just hit it right on the fucking mark. For me.
Yeah. Well,
The first Peter versus the chicken fight I saw was actually the second one, which comes out of nowhere. Like, literally, they're in the middle of a conversation, and the chicken just fucking pops out of the right side of the screen and tackles Peter. They say nothing to each other, and then they just proceed to fight for 5 minutes. So I'm sitting there stoned as a teenager going, what the fuck is going on? Why is Peter fighting a giant chicken?
That's what made the show good. Where Peter knows that that Cleveland's wife is cheating on him, right?
I love that episode.
And it's like I have something important, right, to talk about with you. He's like, what's that? And he's like, well, you know, when Superman 2.
What was up with that cellophane S in Superman 2?
He's like, yeah. That what was weird, Peter? And he's like, yeah. Oh yeah, and your wife's cheating on you.
Cheating on you, vampire.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that the one episode where Brian was barking at the black guy. Right, he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, what was that about? He's like, no, I'm really not. I really not. I like black people. Like, I don't want to. Like, I'm sorry.
I vote Democrat. Dude, Brian has been the source of some of my favorite jokes. Like when they have him do dog stuff. Like he's in the car and he's like, hey, other dog, fuck you.
Yeah.
Or like Stewie says something about you bark at planes. He's like, hey, planes are gonna hurt us.
He doesn't do dog things very often.
No, he doesn't, but when he does them, they're funny as fuck.
And it's strange that, well, okay, the baby they don't hear, but they hear the dog fine.
Sometimes they do hear Stewie. It's weird.
It's a running joke. But they never don't hear the dog.
Except for that one time where Peter just kind of out of nowhere goes, holy crap, you can talk.
Yeah. That one time. Whoa.
Uh-oh.
We're live. I'm checking this out. Who's what? Nobody's watching. Watching now. 1. Is that me? That's me.
That's you.
I'm going to say something in the chat. Yeah. Just started.
Totally forgot what I was going to say.
Watching. Okay, yeah.
Oh, I love all the implied or not even all the implied, all the explicit bestiality in Family Guy that it never gets called out for. Because Brian is always dating a human woman.
Brian is, he hit on Meg in one episode.
I think he fucked Meg, didn't he?
Meg had an ongoing thing with Adam West.
Yeah.
That's right.
And she almost nailed Quagmire. And I think her and Chris fucked in one episode.
Well, yeah.
They end up getting put in a closet together for 7 minutes in heaven, and when they realize it's each other, they're like, "Oh my God, we did so much!" Ah!
Yeah.
Later on, they're both like, "Fuck it, I got some tonight."
Because that's what happens.
Yeah, that's what happens, man.
Mm.
AVGN did another video recently. What the fuck was it he did?
What was it? I saw it. Sub-Zero?
Yeah. And before that, he did the fucking Crow for Sega Saturn.
Mm-hmm.
The Crow City of Angels. Hey, there's something for you to do. The Crow City of Angels for
He did.
Sega Saturn.
He said the Crow Shitty of Angels.
Yep, just like you.
I made that joke, yeah. Crow Shitty of Angels. Because it's good. It's a good joke.
And a shitty movie.
And a terrible movie. Basically a retread of the first movie, except, yeah, with a recast.
I know I've seen it. I don't think I've ever seen it all in one sitting, but I have definitely seen the whole movie all together. And the only thing I really remember from that movie is that the sets looked really bad. Like, all of the outdoor scenes did not look like they were really outdoors. The movie was very yellow.
Mm-hmm.
And the bad guy was like some kind of a voodoo priest.
He was a black guy. That's racist. He was a black guy.
I thought he was a voodoo priest. I thought he was literally doing voodoo.
Well, he's doing something. I don't know if it's voodoo. He was crucifying
Yeah, he crucifies the crow, and then the crow suddenly has like crow powers.
Then he drinks the blood of the crow, and then he comes after the crow, and he's like,
pain is my power.
Drink the blood of the crow. I stole the power.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he's like, pain is my power, and he like uses crow magic on him.
Crow magic. Unstoppable crow magic.
I don't remember any of the fucking like the team of goons.
One of them he killed in a peep booth, like there's a girl stripping, then the lights go out, and then it's the crow.
I saw that in your video. It was the Punisher.
Right, and he jumps through the glass at the guy, and then another guy he kills by a river, throws him in the water, and then like flowers form a little crow around him. I don't remember how Iggy Pop died. I think it was on a motorcycle. He might have died in the river. It might have been him in the river. Right, and then there was another guy who was making drugs, and he had all these tables full of drugs, and this guy had like his hair was up in like
I don't remember any
threads.
of this.
It was all piss colored though. They went with the yellow theme the whole way, and if it wasn't piss colored, it was red or blue, and yeah.
Doesn't Sarah die?
I think she does, but I don't remember why. I don't remember how she dies. I think she's killed somewhere else because the final scene happens right during a parade, during the little death thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a Day of the Dead parade happening in America for some reason.
Yeah, something like that.
That might be the stupidest part of the movie, a Day of the Dead parade happening in America. That is pretty much a Mexican thing.
Yeah, well, I think it was in New Orleans.
That makes even less sense.
Yeah, nothing.
If it was in New Orleans, then that dude was definitely voodoo.
Okay, and then the third movie.
I have not seen the third movie.
The third movie stars a kid that looks like Jesse Eisenberg, I would say.
I've heard the third one is watchable.
It stars Kirsten Dunst is the biggest star, and she's just the love interest. His girlfriend, who he goes to a prison for a murder he didn't commit. It's the cops he's after this time, right? And this time he goes to the chair. and he gets fried, and then he comes back from the dead and kills them and stuff.
See, that doesn't sound like a bad premise.
Not too bad. And he had short hair, and his makeup was more like the Joker.
I've heard the makeup is like Burns, isn't it? Like the Burns from the electric chair.
He's a little of that going on. But that's the movie that I saw as a knockoff cover that had Heath Ledger on the cover.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there was a cover that where they selling Crow Salvation with Heath Ledger on the cover as the Joker, right?
Oh, okay.
It's got the Crow logo right at the bottom, but Heath Ledger Joker going like, it's like, no, that's not what that is.
And then the fourth one is completely unwatchable.
Oh, it's great. It's fantastic.
No,
It's the best
not.
one yet. 3 is the forgettable one. 2 is City of Angels, but 4 has Edward Furlong is the Crow, right?
There isn't a single A-list star in the movie.
Dennis Hopper.
He is not an A-list star at that point in his career.
No, but he only shows up for a minute. But the bad guy in the movie is that guy from Angel on TV, right?
David Boreanaz.
Right, and he is the Antichrist and one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
He is the Antichrist, the Death Horseman, and Satan.
And he's dating Tara Reid.
Who is a completely emotionless brick in the movie.
Well, as always, it's to be expected.
That guy who played Tank in The Matrix is in it. As far as I know, his only other movie role.
And Machete's in it.
With his bouncing man titties, playing a Native American, even though he is in fact a Mexican.
It looks like straight to video. I think it's straight to video budget.
It was straight to video.
Or like even on HBO or Cinemax or something. The Crow 4 got an all-star cast. It's Apocalypse, right? It's 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. This is the ultimate Crow movie, right?
It brought way too much religion into the story, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. And I don't even know what the Crow is at this point. He's stopping the apocalypse?
Yeah, like this is in this universe. In the first Crow movie, apparently Christianity is real. Like it's the true religion, according to the 4th movie.
Right, the 4th movie.
So hey, maybe
Yeah.
we could get a Crow Spawn crossover.
Well, I mean, any kind of apocalyptic movie, you could have the Crow. So isn't the Crow preventing the end of times? Isn't that the end of time is supposed to happen?
Yeah.
They can't prevent the end of times. That's supposed to happen. It's part of God's plan.
Yeah, that's always the problem in movies about the Antichrist. You're like, but you can't stop this from happening.
Right. That's
You're
supposed to
only
happen.
even if you delay it, even if you stop it, you're really only delaying the inevitable.
Right. I don't even know. That movie was so bad, but it was so good at the same time. So good.
Kills a guy with a fucking bug zapper.
Bug zapper, yeah. He killed them all in really stupid ways. I think
And
he
his
worked with the microwave.
His awful flaming crow.
The pathetic flaming crow. It's a sad little. It's like
How do you fuck that up?
I don't know.
Like, just pour more fuel in the shape of a crow and light it.
One of the guys, he drops like a chandelier on him, or like this thing from the ceiling, like like a pinata type Mexican thing on him. That kills him. The bad guys die really easily here.
You know what my
In the
favorite
first movie,
moment-
he like tortured them, right?
Yeah.
Strap a guy to a car and have it drive off the pier and explode. No, this time, bug zapper.
He killed them in ways that made them suffer psychologically first.
Yeah, and there was other parts where they were like eating deviled eggs.
Because they're deviled eggs.
Right, but I think they were also sprinkled with like what's that? A powerful hallucinogen.
DMT,
No, the stuff you find in the desert.
peyote.
Peyote, yeah, I think they were peyote covered deviled eggs, but still, it was weird. It was weird that they were eating deviled eggs because the one guy has like delivered lines mouth full of yellow mush, like no, no. It was like, why are they eating deviled eggs?
Maybe they just really. I love deviled eggs. It's one of my favorite foods.
And they killed the guy and his girlfriend in this shop, in a store, in the middle of the day.
You know what my favorite moment in the whole movie is?
What's that?
When the fight is over and Tara Reid puts on a fucking, what do you call those prayer beads that Catholics, rosary? She
Right.
pulls out a rosary that she apparently kept with her and starts praying.
No. Yeah, that the whole time.
She's like, Christian.
She pulled that out of her asshole.
Yeah. For some reason, the Satanist priestess was carrying a rosary.
Yeah. Now, what was she? She wasn't even one of the four horsemen, was she?
No, she was just this fucking priestess. Basically,
Because there was each of the other guys had their own car. She didn't have
She
her
was
own
the-
car.
she was the bitch that knew how to do all the magic stuff.
Mm-hmm. And
She's
she
like
did.
she's a witch or something.
Yeah. Each of the four horsemen had their own car with a wacky thing. You know, Pestilence. He had like barrels of toxic waste in his back. Right.
I actually don't remember the vehicles at all.
It was stupid because they all had the same, like, some kind of really bad paintwork on the bumper on the truck thing, but it all looked like it was done by the same artist. So it's like, oh, okay, good job.
He also
Yeah.
comes back to life like within 24 hours of dying.
Well, he dies in the daytime. The other guys, they're all killed at night. This whole thing everything is filmed in the daytime. There's very little filmed at night.
The way it's shot, it almost seems like he doesn't die and they just locked him in a fridge. And he got out a day later.
Yeah, he's not dead. And
That's how the Crow is born in this one, by the way. He pops out of a fridge
yeah, it's good
in a
stuff.
junkyard going, "Ah!"
In the daytime, right?
In the daytime.
But it's the next day.
There's a lot of daytime in the movie.
Yes,
And
there's no significant scenes that take place at night. Some insignificant scenes, like the bug zapper scene, was at night, right?
And in
But a
the
lot of those
original-
scenes are indoors.
And in the original movie, there is almost no daytime scenes at all.
And this one's all
Almost.
in the day. None of the other movies, really.
I can think of a couple in the first movie.
I mean, but in none of the other movies either. I mean, 2 didn't have any daytime scenes, really. It was
They had a
all
lot
piss
of yellows.
colored night times.
Yeah. The whole
Okay.
city was lit with yellow lights.
Fucking Crow. And that was a Crow TV show.
There was.
Yep. Very short-lived Crow TV show that
Oh,
starred.
yeah, I remember that. It had a female crow, didn't it?
No, it was the guy. It was the guy who was on Iron Chef. The guy who does the intro. He's like, oh, Iron Chef, right?
Oh, my God, really?
And, yeah, and he was also in Double Dragon movie. You know, it's Scott Wolf and then the other guy.
Yeah.
The other guy who, you know, think about it. You think about Double Dragon in your head. You think Scott Wolf, the other guy. Do you remember the other guy kind of looking a little bit like Brandon Lee? It's because he is also mixed race. He's half white, half Asian.
I didn't know that about Brandon Lee for a long time. I didn't know he was Bruce Lee's kid.
That's right. Well, and Bruce Lee is also part white.
He is?
Yeah, that's right. He's not all Asian.
I didn't know that. That explains why Brandon didn't look Asian at all.
Yeah, he wasn't entirely half Asian, right? He was, yeah.
Like 3/4 white.
or something like that. 3/4.
Yeah.
He was a third. How's that work? Isn't it has to be even numbers? He was a third.
Ah, my cat's attacking my foot. What the fuck, cat?
Oh well.
Fucker.
Oh, anyway, well, how long have we been on here?
A long goddamn time.
Okay. All right. I think we should cut it. Yeah.
All right, well, that was a random ass podcast about everything under the sun.
And yeah, very little about the best and worst movies of the year.
Yet again, we very nearly almost kept on topic.
No, we did not stay on topic at all. I don't even know. We don't know what the worst movie is here. We didn't see it.
Yeah, we didn't see any of your shitty movies. We don't blow our money on crap.
That's right.
It was called
Avoid that
Jupiter
shit.
Ascending. It was called Jupiter Ascending. You should have known better.
It was called what was the worst movie? The Gem movie. Yeah, that was the worst movie. Didn't even see it. Already know.
Shame on you, studio, for creating Gem and the Holograms.
And we're never going to see it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Good night, man.
Later on. Yeah, good night.